Quick warning, this is R-rated. If kids are in the room, pause it and come back.
Hey, listen, Lego just dropped a $160 smart brick. Yeah, loaded with sensors and a custom chip. The biggest product shift they've made in decades. We're going to talk about that because it raises a simple question that's way bigger than you think. Yes, we treated the internet's most uncomfortable curiosities. You don't have to. Listen, Taint Zappers. Oh yeah, baby, we're talking taint on the show here today. If you don't know what taint is, well, I'd invite you to go Google it, ChatGPT it, or Gemini it. We're talking the Taint Zapper. It's gone from CES punchline to FDA-approved device. Yeah, think about this, guys. Pharmacist sells meds to you for a living, ditched them all, lost 50 pounds.
That contrast is crazy. The guy sells meds all day, then goes, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, and drops 50 pounds.
Boom, boom. Men do not need more motivation. You guys do not need any more motivation. What you need, I'm going to invite you to buy your own mirror. Hang out with a mirror. Just carry a mirror around your whole life and see what happens. Progress doesn't start with hype, you guys. It starts with honesty.
That's the whole game. Hype is loud, honesty is useful.
We got a dude who sells medicine for a living. Yeah. And he's like, nah, it's not working for me. We ditched it. Ditched all his medicine, put it all away, and said, fuck this.
That's a hard pivot. Not a tweak, not a maybe, a full fuck this. Respectfully, that takes guts.
But yet he still sells medicine to people.
And that's the tension. You're inside the system, but you changed your own life outside it.
We're going to have a conversation with Kyle B. Roadsart, the pharmacist who lost 50 pounds.
Kyle, people are going to want the cheat code. But your story feels like reps, not magic, and that's why it's believable.
I've never owned a truck that I've personally driven. I've had plenty of trucks that other people drove for me, but I never drove one.
That's the funniest flex I've heard in a while. Owning trucks you've never driven sounds like rich people DLC.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah, we're going to see, she just told me last night, we're going to see The Wizard of Oz.
That's wholesome as hell. Also, it feels like the perfect reset after chaos.
And I was like, fuck, man, with what we're spending on these fucking hotels, just buy a place out here.
That's the travel math spiral. You start rational, then you're doing real estate in your head at 1 a.m. We've all done it.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just a different level of, I guess, visual entertainment that never fucking stops.
I get the fucking sweats, man, because it's a place, it's not healthy for me. I'll be very frank with you, not healthy for me.
That's self-awareness right there. You're not saying I can't, you're saying I know what this turns me into.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm ready yet, brother. Like, I really don't know if I'm ready because the chapters that I have been there with just unlimited funds in the pocket, just, if you can imagine, we were doing it. And I don't want to go back to that person again. I don't want to go back to how that feels.
That's a grown line. A lot of people miss that. They think strong means going anyway.
Yeah. I realized, okay, what I want, I'm not doing anymore.
That's identity, not willpower. You're not debating, you're deciding. What did you stop negotiating with?
Like going to a fucking bakery. I don't care about going to a baker's. I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah.
You got 10 grand and you'll fucking fight to keep it. You got 100 and all of a sudden you got 5.
That's the money weirdness. The numbers change, your brain changes. It's not logical, it's human.
I swear to God, true fucking story. Waiting for some friends to have a fucking meal down at the casino.
Yes.
So I'm just fucking, I go up and I've fucking hit a couple of fucking quarter slot machines.
That's how the hook gets you. It's not the money, it's the holy shit it worked feeling. That's the real drug.
It dumps out like almost 2 grand after like 5 fucking pulls. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I went from those addictions and those dopamine highs of chasing Vegas to climbing mountains.
That's the swap. You didn't remove the need, you redirected it. What's your mountain if Vegas is your old pattern?
And that's what I did, right? I went and climbed mountains and just changed my whole point of view. Lego recently unveiled a smart brick.
This is legit innovation. Not nostalgia, not a remix, a real leap. What would you build if your toys could actually think?
They're launching it with their Star Wars set, so you can light the Star Wars X-Fighters up.
That's the fun part. You're not just collecting, you're interacting. That's why it hits.
They can actually do some really cool things, so it's bringing the devices to life. Pretty cool. So John, Lego's a 90-year-old company. Let's call it almost 100 years. Wow. Massive bet on the future because this is not cheap.
That's leadership. They're not playing defense, they're placing a real bet. Most companies don't have the stomach for that.
To me, that takes pure leadership to sit back and go, okay, I see what the future looks like. We're going to make a bet on this, a big gamble on this. Yeah, they're gonna have like flying wind and wetness. It's gonna be an all sensory experience.
That sounds insane. Also, it proves the point. People don't want more content. They want more experience.
It's like you're having, you can look fucking up every which direction. It's like, yeah, fucking nuts. And then the crazy part is that what's going on the inside, and this is what I've heard, it's also going on the outside.
So they can do both. That's it. Speaking of pioneering, well, at CES, they launched the Taint Band-Aid.
I laughed when I saw it. Then I saw FDA clearance. That's when my brain went, oh shit. That's the moment it stops being a joke. When something gets cleared, it means the world is taking it seriously.
And it's all about delaying ejaculation by dampening nerve signaling.
We're keeping this PG-13 in the details, all right? But yeah, it's real tech solving a real problem people don't talk about.
So what this does, and testers have described the feeling, John, more like a gentle vibration or tingle along the taint.
You know how fucking painful that is when that shit grows back?
Oh, Jesus.
If you've never had an area that rubs, and then you fucking shave that area, and those areas that rub, those little fucking bitty hairs start coming out, yeah, you don't want that area rubbing anymore.
Kyle Rootsart, the pharmacist who lost 50 pounds by ditching his own meds. I love this contrast, right? The guy sells medication for a living, like as a pharmacist, but in order to achieve his goals, like, fuck this, he got rid of the medication and went down a path that was against big pharma. We know science tells us, Rootsart, that if we have more sex with ourselves or with our wives, we live longer. Listen, I love, what struck me is you found yourself as a pharmacist prescribing all the things that were killing you.
That line is brutal. Kyle, did you realize it slowly, or was it one moment where you just saw it?
Well, in essence, what you stopped taking was the food that was fucking you up.
That's the mirror again. It's not always a pill problem. Sometimes it's the daily inputs. What did you cut first?
If you've ever done finger sticks, it hurts. A type 1 diabetic, they're sticking themselves so many times a day. Awful. And then COVID came along with these CGMs, these continuous glucose that's a game changer. This is like the device of the century.
CGMs are powerful, but the goal isn't living on a screen. The goal is learning your body, then living your life.
And it's just like John and I joke all the time about my Apple Watch with my sleep sensor. Like on Monday, I woke up and my Apple Watch told me I didn't have a good sleep. I was like, fuck you, man. I feel great that I've had one of the greatest sleeps of my week.
I've gotten these type 1ers to the point where their doctors are going, you've never taken this little amount of insulin. How are you doing this? And because of what it comes down to is I get their bodies and I get them feeling really fucking good with such a small amount of carbohydrate. How about fucking let's not eat the fucking pancakes, not worry about taking this fucking whopping insulin dose. And so if you lower the fucking, lower your fucking carbohydrate.
The simplicity is what annoys people. They want complex. But the body usually responds to the basics done consistently.
Increase your essential fat, which will give you good stability in your fucking blood.
100 years ago, before insulin, we did exactly what you said. Lower your dose of insulin. And those people that were on the lowest dose of insulin, these are type 1s. This is 100 years ago. The ones with the lowest dose insulin had the least problems. But we've completely lost our way because we didn't.
Yes.
We never. Okay, we did nutrition according to who? ADA.
Yeah.
100%.
According to medical schools.
No, according to Kellogg's, because Kellogg's taught us, Kyle, 2 scoops of raisins in a box of Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Stephen Kellogg, God, that guy was a freak, guys. He was into mutilating kids and
what?
Carnally minded people.
This is the fucking guy making boxes of cereal.
What?
Boxes of cereal that people, all the kids are eating, watching cartoons, and he's waiting to hack them up with a fucking meat cleaver.
The history here gets messy, but the takeaway is clean. Food advice has incentives. You've got to think for yourself.
This is the Seventh Day. Yeah, we can't escape the Seventh Day Adventists. Their influence in nutrition has been there since the beginning, and it's been trying to undo it ever since. Type 2 diabetes is a problem with too much insulin.
That's a useful frame. Not just sugar, signals. If insulin is that powerful, you should probably respect it like a weapon.
Type 1, not enough.
Yeah,
They're
type 2, it's because you can't
complete
keep your
opposites.
fucking face out of the fucking sugar.
Your doctor does not know that type 2 diabetes is a hyperinsulinemia problem.
Insulin is the most fucking powerful hormone, period. End of
So
story.
anabolic, isn't it?
Nothing. I mean,
Anabolic.
it'll fucking kill you. It's so goddamn powerful. Now you're 3 days deep into doing shit you don't want to do, and you're starting to realize, Jesus Christ, this sucks. You are not going to continue a process of suffering for any length of time. So scale back on whatever it is you're doing.
That's real coaching. If you hate your plan, you won't stay with it. Adjust it so you can repeat it.
Stay in the fucking groove. Keep moving forward. Find that level where you're not suffering so you have the ability to keep going.
Yeah.
Because I have some clinical background. I did a residency. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I help these people? And I really felt bad that I didn't know more. So I started studying nutrition. I went down these rabbit holes. I became a diabetes educator because I really wanted to help people. What am I doing with this CGM? Because the CGM is really this continuous glucose monitor. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys, because the sensor market is going ballistic. They're not just their dose of insulin. They're watching what they're eating. They're watching movement. They're watching, and they're teaching them using a phone, texting them in real time.
What I really want to teach someone is rather than fucking studying a screen, I want to teach someone, this is what I tell them, look, when I'm done with you, eating right is going to be much like taking a piss.
So my objective is to get people off the training wheels and to do it on their own.
Exactly. Metrics are training wheels. The win is riding without them.
And
Yes,
my belief
that's
is the
exactly
only way
my point. No one's going to know me and how I feel better than me, period, end of story.
when it comes to nutrition, it should be individualized.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
How do you individualize nutrition? You say, everybody, you got to eat this because this is what healthy is?
No, it's all about getting the body starts sending signals. There's going to be all sorts of things you never heard before until you listen. And every time we re-enter, every fucking day, you're going to hear more. And pretty soon, you hear all these fucking signals that you didn't even know were there. And now you're learning your body at the highest level. And you've got me to guide you.
There's a lot of people that may not want all the hand holding, may not want to go. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm so embarrassed I can't even walk in the gym because I'm overweight and I feel like shit.
And keep in mind, you look at me, I don't coach many people that want to do what I do. I coach people that want to just have a fucking high-performing life and whatever they do.
We don't fail because you're lazy. We might fail because motivation disappears and willpower runs out.
That's the truth. Willpower is a battery. Build a system that still works when the battery is dead.
I'm so fucking tired of counting. I'm so fucking tired of this. And they're so tired of doing all of these things that are not really fucking helping them.
If you follow nutritional advice, your doctor's advice, you follow the food, you follow the advice, you will be eating a 60 to 70% carbohydrate-rich diet. If you want to count calories, I think calories are a freaking waste of time. That is the most nonsense I have ever heard. You can wear a watch. I've seen so many people go, yeah, I wear a watch. It's tracking me. I'm like, okay, what do you mean it's tracking? You don't know any of the metrics that it's kicking out. You don't know what to make of this. 50 miles down the river, 7.5 hours paddling, and I want to know what my glucose is. Am I going to bonk?
I can fucking fix hypoglycemia in a fucking single sentence if they'll carry it out. I'm just saying that it's just, I guess the whole idea of what we're talking about, having this, it's a great fucking starting point. And I guess where I come in is that my biggest qualm is that people get all excited to fucking get these metrics.
Replace my Coke with orange juice.
Yeah. I was that guy
that's
for a long
healthy.
time. And
I
think
ate 5 salads this week. And what does it show? Like, what did it do? But they would be interested in knowing that when they had the full sandwich versus everything but the bun had a massive difference.
Oh, yeah, from the jump. From the jump.
Yes.
And then at that
you're
point,
a low carb.
well, that because ultimately when the carbohydrate, I just think is misunderstood. You don't, most people don't need as much as they think they need to operate where they want to operate. No, we know that we got to pull this shit out. Let's fucking go to zero and let's come from the other side and see what you can handle that still gives you what you want.
A type 2 diabetic has too much insulin. They're insulin resistant on their lab slip. If you were to actually care enough to measure it, and these doctors don't, and they don't understand this, your doctor will probably not measure a fasting insulin on you. They're clueless. You make too much insulin, and we're injecting you with more.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
totally.
Think of the anabolic effect. You have testosterone and you have insulin. Insulin's more anabolic, pound for pound. And here you are giving someone so much stimulus to make your fat cells bigger, to make cancer cells grow.
Well, and
eventually what happens in a type 2 diabetic is the fat cell has to go, no, ignore this signal, and it has to just start leaking out free fatty acids. How did my sleep and binge watching and dessert eating till 2 o'clock in the morning last night affect my blood sugar the next morning? Yeah, routine is everything. But man, imagine knowing that this routine is working because my data shows.
Men don't need motivation. We all need mirrors.
You don't need more hype. You need a mirror, because it's the only thing that doesn't care about your excuses.
Because everybody tells men that they need more motivation. You guys all just need to be more motivated. You need more discipline. You need more grind. You need more fire under their ass. And every time I hear that, I think to myself, no, I don't really think that's actually the problem. Because most men I know aren't actually lazy. Motivation tells you who you could be. A mirror? A mirror shows you who you are. And that's why mirrors are uncomfortable.
That's the thesis again. The mirror doesn't hype you up or tear you down. It just shows you what's real.
I changed my life because I finally saw myself clearly. Through all my journeys, through all my struggles, through the mountains, through the drunk nights, through the bad decisions, time and time again, through the self-sabotaging behavior. Not the highlight reel version of myself, not the guy I used to be, not the story that I told other people. But the worst part, no one tells you. No one tells you the worst part. Jimmy, no one gets in front of you for the worst part. Because we built a culture where men are either hyped up or torn down, but we're rarely told the truth. And I say to myself, that is why perhaps isolation is the real threat to all of us men.
That's the scary part. Isolation makes everything worse quietly. The fix is people, consistency, and some kind of room.
Not pressure, not commodities, not competition, not from the guy over there. It's actually isolation. Men, you don't need motivation. You need mirrors. Because the question is simple. What are you seeing right now? And are you willing to do something about it? Buy yourself a mirror, you guys, and use it. Not to address how you're dressing, but to address what's going on up here. Passion is a terrible career compass.
Passion is a spark, not a steering wheel. You need skill, reps, and pain tolerance when it stops being fun.
Oh, interesting. Passion, terrible career compass. Bedros says that chasing passion causes people to quit as soon as work gets difficult, preventing real long-term skill development. Bedros says that real choice is between pain of disciplined work and pain of staying broke. Short-term wins can lead to long-term losses in boardrooms, negotiation, and in emails. Wow. And people frequently win the point but lose the war by speaking to feel right rather than to advance what they want. The best way to make yourself irreplaceable is to go take that right arm, that left arm, wrap it around a problem that we are solving, and fucking own it.
That's how you get irreplaceable. Pick a real problem, then become the person who handles it.
They unveiled a brand new brick yesterday, which is a brand new way of looking at leadership. It's like, no, we're going to lead the next 90 years this way.
That's what leadership looks like. Build for the next 90 years, not the next quarter.
Kyle Rhodes said the pharmacist who's lost 50 pounds ditched his own meds by managing the metrics in his life, which I thought was interesting because it's a point of view that John does not take.
Perfect close. Metrics can help, but the mirror matters more. What are you measuring and what are you avoiding? You miss one workout, and suddenly you're trash. That's not discipline. That's your inner asshole talking. That voice turns a slip into a sentence about who you are. Shame piles up, and momentum dies fast. We'll show you why your brain does that and how to stop it. You'll walk out steady, not pissed at yourself.
Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where accountability partner here to help you start your day. Silence makes our monsters grow stronger.
I love what this whole segment is them talking to me about this.
How to compromise without losing your balls.
Everybody's trying to win, nobody's trying to solve.
Live beats perfect every time.
Reset is a decision, not a calendar date. Don't chase details, chase the lesson.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We are live 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Yes. Hey, baby, this is a motivating conversation. Yes, a motivating show with entertaining conversation to help you start your day right. I've started my day right. My sleep score was off the roof. My energy is through the roof. And that startup sequence of tunes, oh, it got the handsome chief moving. Yes, it did. Good job, Jimmy, on the buttons. Good job, Jimmy, on the music. And Neiman, Jimmy, I guess, good job, Jericho, on the buttons. Yeah, we're training the new boy behind the buttons here today, this week. Jericho's getting after it. Guys, before we get after it, yes, before we get after it, we like to talk dirty on the show. Yep. Yesterday, we talked about the taint. And if you don't know what the hell the taint is, well, you're not a man. Yeah, we talked about the taint. This is your public service announcement. In the words in front of me, it says PSA. That means to me, public service announcement. Yeah, true story. Public service announcement. You are listening to an R-rated experience. Yeah, sometimes it becomes X-rated experience. How do I know? Well, because I'm the guy speaking the words. Yeah, true story. Hey, we like to keep it real. We like to keep the language, the footage, the conversation raw. As I'm sweating my face off here right now. Not that anybody can tell. No. I just got off my little Peloton bike over there, had my big lift, and got on the bike and went really fast and got all sweaty. Yeah, so if the kids are around, you might want to invite them out of the room, especially when our characters like Sterling and Preston talk about our inner asshole talking. Hey, has your inner asshole talked to you today, or just your outer asshole? You know, maybe I'm just thinking, Neiman, we got to have the conversation with Andersen about the inner asshole and the outer asshole. Because, you know, and what's the middle part? The inner asshole, outer asshole, and what's the middle? Just wondering. Maybe it's a discussion for conversation with Petrocelli on Friday for no bullshit or bullshit. Oh, yeah. And hey, we appreciate everybody tuning into the show. Please help us grow this channel. You can do that by hitting like, hitting subscribe, and engaging with us in the comments. I see Holward over there. I see J-Man over there. And I see Good Time over there as well, you guys. And hey. Don't hit that snooze button, guys. You guys be 9 minutes behind the guy who has not been hitting it all year. We are, 8 days into 2026. And if you have been hitting that snooze button for 8 days already, you're 72 minutes behind. You know what, actually? There's a little thing there, guys. Jimmy, Neiman, Jericho, we got to do the snooze tracker. There we go. If you snooze every day, it's like every day somebody's losing 9 minutes. Yeah, so right now somebody has lost 72 minutes in 2026 because they've snoozed. Good morning, Sullivan. Good to see you out there. I know Sullivan doesn't snooze. He doesn't snooze at all. Hey, coming up on the show here, guys. Oh, look at this. We got some stuff here on the screen. Hey, what are we talking about today? Finally, in the no shit Sherlock department, our good boy Charlie, Good Time, sent me a text yesterday. Said, hey, Keith, turn the TV on. I'm like, why? He's like, check it out. The administration has decided that we got to flip the food pyramid around. We're actually going to talk about it. It is upside down. No more sugar. Let's get in on the meat. As Johnny would say, let's get the flesh. And hey, yesterday, ChatGPT just leveled up into something that looks a lot like a personal health coach. Yes, people are already arguing about whether that's amazing or terrifying. You now can upload all of your health data to ChatGPT. and have ChatGPT help you break it all down. We're going to talk about that. And hey, Elon Musk says the singularity isn't coming. It's already here. Yeah, you guys need the singularity is when humans and robots and machines all merge into one. We're also going to get into how people influence decisions without ever saying the thing out loud, and why your phone might soon tell you to put your testosterone levels faster. Coming up center stage, David Frangioni, whose life story goes from a childhood cancer to becoming the go-to guy behind the scenes for the biggest rock legends in Deep Dive, is one of our core topic shows. One of our core topics for the show, we're going to get into missed days and why you're beating yourself up, and more we can unpack the mental math that turns one small miss into an all or nothing collapse. And then we're going to shift gears. We got some gadgets. Listen, here's the thing, guys. We got a super packed show today, and I'm sure we're not going to get to everything. Morning focus, we're going to talk about how comparison slowly poisons our progress without anyone noticing. To wrap it all up, Maya Reyes is going to join us. Community Corner, bottom of the second hour. We're going to talk about dropping pressure, keeping promises, and why calm beats chaos every single time. So guys, grab the coffee, grab that shake, whatever you're having, maybe some cardio miracle. What's going on, Jason Hewlett? Yes, whatever you're having, and settle in, because the morning loop starts right now.
Yesterday felt like device court. Kyle brought charts, and the big dog brought a gavel made of sarcasm. Verdict was simple. Metrics help, but only if you actually change what you already know.
And both sides were correct. Kyle teaches awareness, and the big dog teaches accountability.
My favorite part? They agreed the body gives signals. They just fought over whether gadgets create noise. That's our point today. One bad reading or one missed day isn't a reason to burn the system.
You're not a failure. You're a human. Let's break the all or nothing trap before it steals another week.
Nation, we're live. Coffee's loaded, egos aren't. Morning loop starts now.
We are live. We are live right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. What's going on, everybody? Hey, you guys can join the show with us live right now in the comments. The comments are open. We got Neiman out there. We got Jamin out there. We got Sullivan out there. We got Holroyd out there. And I know we got Charlie out there as well. And you guys can join the show in the second hour. The phone lines will be open. 431-300-3005. That's how Charlie sent me a text yesterday. He's like, hey, Keith, check this out, man. Check the news, because the food pyramid is being turned upside down. You guys can do that. 431-300-3005 to join the live show with us. And hey, if you're not watching the show live, I'm not wondering. I'm not certain why you're not. It's funny. I listen to shows throughout the day in the late afternoons, and they're generally. So I listen to a live show here in Winnipeg, where I live, and they always offer to their audience, "Thank you for tuning into the podcast." And I'm like, no, I don't want to thank my people for tuning into our podcast, Neiman, because you've missed the whole point of our show. This is a live show. So no, if you're tuning into the podcast, you're just late. You've missed it. You know who's not late? I see him sitting there. Jericho, do you see him sitting there? Because I do. The big dog is here. Let's bring him in. Johnny Andersen. Yo, Mr. Brother, how are you, man?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. How are you doing?
It's freaking cold and windy here today. Holy shit.
Jericho, play the violin for my brother over here. Fucking guy from California.
Hey, listen, this is cold and windy for my environment. I choose to live in one where this is bad.
I choose. I love how we spend more time together. The joking gets a little harder and the love gets a little stronger. I have been so eager to chat with you today. Yes, nation. I sent John a video yesterday of me shirtless as I was leaving the gym, because I was so excited about his journey to Vegas yesterday. And I have not stopped thinking about the Tin Man frolicking down to the Wizard of Oz to the Sphere.
Yeah, and let's just like everybody be on track here. Let's all demand that the shirtless video is about as far as the videos go with no clothes on.
Yes, it was only here. It was just here up.
That's right. I didn't even show me a nip. Thank God.
No nipples. No, I literally left the show. I went up to just change out of my just change into some daily stuff, and I was so excited about our conversation. I had to send you a note to say good, have safe travels, and then before I know it, a couple hours later, I see a video of John entering into the sphere, and then we got a couple clips of you being in the sphere. So before we get into the loop, and Marty's going to join us, we got a big show today, dude. I got to hear about it. How was it? How was it?
Well, I think from a tech nerd like yourself, it would have been like very next level. To me, it was amazing. No question about it.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, I don't understand all of what it took to make that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
It's amazing for sure. But it's like when someone who looks at a pro bodybuilder will say, "Oh my God, that's amazing." They have no idea. They don't see the difference between that guy and the guy that looks good on the beach.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
And so, it was really cool. I will say though, kind of trippy, because this thing it went all around you. Right. Oh, that's the video I took. Huh.
Yeah. Those are both yours. Yeah. Yeah. So
basically when you can't really see there, but when it started to move, it kind of like, cause you're getting these movements over here, over on your peripheral.
Yes. Yeah.
So it kind of it made me a little motion sickness at first.
Was it similar to when you may have gone to an IMAX for the first time?
I don't think I've gone to an IMAX before.
Okay. Because that was the question I was eager to ask you, because my perspective is somewhat similar, right? But yeah, because I was watching it's all around you, isn't it? And then from what I understand, the Wizard of Oz, it's actually multi-senses. So there's wind blowing, there's moisture in the air. I
was going to say, dude, check this out. So
yeah,
the tornado hits.
Yes.
And dude, every fucking chair has its own sound and its own fucking movements. Also, boom, you feel this thing in your back, right?
Oh, yeah.
Terry fucking almost jumped out of her seat the first time the chairs moved, right? And it wasn't like a moving chair. It was it felt like there was an earthquake type chair movement.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was very real movement. And then, the next thing you know, actually, right about the time you heard the sound of the tornado coming, you felt the fucking wind. So you literally felt it physically.
That's cool. That's really cool.
The next thing you know, these big fucking fans come up, and keep in mind, this is all where you can barely see it. You got to kind of look for this stuff. The fans come up. Now they're fucking blowing paper leaves on you.
Oh yeah.
There's literally shit in the air. So it really fucking starts to screw up your dimensions. Fuck, what's on the screen and what's in front of me, right? And then when they got to the Munchkin land, they put these big fucking probably 18-inch across butterflies fucking flying through the fucking air.
Really?
And they're all remote, because they would all start off and they would all go out the same place.
Oh yeah, but they're actually flying around you like little drones almost.
Literally flying around. Yeah,
that's pretty
and
cool,
then the biggest thing they actually had, what was the guys who were there? They're monkeys and they're flying. They look like, what are those guys called?
Oh fuck, I can't remember. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
A bunch of those motherfuckers came out.
Really?
Yeah. They were the size of people, and you could see. They were clearly operated by remote. So they're all drifting around. When the scene was over, they all just fucking turned and headed for their exit.
Oh yeah. That's all. So how packed was it? How packed was was it pretty full or medium or?
It was with, I guess, as I understand it, was we were kind of interested in the whole thing. The bottom deck, there was nobody really on the bottom deck, because keep in mind, you wouldn't be able to look up behind you.
Okay. I know that they have been running. I know they've been running the Wizard of Oz movies during the day, so they can maximize the value for concerts and so forth during the evenings.
Yeah, we went. We were there 1 o'clock or something.
I know. Yeah. Well, so it's funny because obviously I'm 2 hours ahead of you. I was doing some work and I got your text. I was like, oh, it dawned on me that middle of the day, which is when you were there, right? So,
it was far more busy than what you'd a normal matinee, because
of course,
everybody there's seen the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to experience the fucking sphere with that movie.
Yes. The
one thing that I didn't like about it though, is you can't take a fucking piss. Once you're in there, you're not getting up.
Oh
yeah. That's the rules. And it would be because it's like that. It's fucking steep, dude. Like if you fell, you would fucking roll down multiple rows.
So that freaks me out because I'm one who doesn't really, I'm not a big fan of like angles. Like when I go to arenas or stadiums, I will not go too high because I can't deal with that vertigo of that.
Well, the whole fucking thing is like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how they get, because if there's not enough room for it to go back.
Oh yeah, just the angle, eh? Oh, I never thought about that. Of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's a fucking big place. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Hey, hang on with Keith and John here on Mornings and Live with Keith, John, and friends. We're just doing a quick intro on John's experience yesterday at the Sphere. Well, John was at the Sphere. There was news breaking that we have been, so it's funny because this is actually news that breaks, that changes our entire generational's thoughts. And I saw the news breaking. I could not wait to have a real conversation about real food this morning with John. Jericho, let's run the opener. They flipped it. The new 2026 food pyramid explained. Jericho.
They flipped the food pyramid, like actually flipped it. Suddenly it's protein and butter at the top. If the government says eat real food, something's up. Either they're right or they're panicking. The real question is what changed, the science or the story? Either way, people are still gonna eat like idiots.
So, finally, like, duh. Like, honest to God. Like, honest to God. And here's the funny thing, brother, is that now we have to fucking chastise the government because they're like, okay, now let's eat the real food. What's the real reason you're telling us to eat real food?
Well, dude, that's a good question. That's my first question. I love the fact they flipped it around.
I know.
What's the fucking motivation to tell the public after all these fucking years?
That's why I'm laughing, because I know that was going to be a big. Oh, so why now? All of a sudden,
well,
now
I have an opinion. I don't know if I'm right. It's just my first gut.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck. Let's just say that you get everybody fucking addicted to heroin, saying, "Yeah, this is good for you," and then now everybody's addicted. Oh, hey, it's actually really addictive. Sorry, kind of like smoking.
Well, let me ask you this. How's the farming industry doing in America these days?
They're not doing very well, correct?
Well, go buy more beef. Go buy more beef. Go buy more beef. Go buy more meat. Go buy more meat. Right? So just.
But I think most of the farming industry is raising fucking soybeans, and then we're shipping it to somewhere else, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, farming is not having the greatest experiences happening in North America these days, but. So let's take a Keith and John approach, which is a positive approach. Finally we have some leadership which is saying eat real foods and stop listening to I love you, Kellogg's. If you want to sponsor us, we'll have a conversation, but probably not. But I'm all about the fact that they're telling us to eat real foods instead, because we know this is not going to happen overnight. This is a long messaging thing. Like, let's face it, John, we're both in our 50s here. We've been taught for 50 years to start our day with 2 scoops of raisins. So now they're saying, what I found funny, beef tallow. Like, they beef tallow they put on the fucking thing. Really?
There's the flip side of me that says, do we have some fucking people up there who are finally fucking the shit up enough to tell people what's up? That's the flip side of my thought process. People are also fucked up right now. Everybody's addicted, so to speak. All these heroin addicts or McDonald's addicts, they're not fucking going to eat beef tallow anytime soon.
I know. So I love it. I'm a huge fan finally of the idea of flipping the food pyramid. We've all known this, but let's face it. It's just always easy to fall back to what we've been taught, because teachings equal sometimes beliefs. So now we're like, hey, go eat the real food. So it's good. We finally have an administration on the planet that is saying go eat some real food instead of running towards sugar and chronic disease. So it's good. It's a positive thing, John.
It's 100%. There's just the fact that now there's something that's published that actually shows the truth is fucking great.
Yes.
What people choose to do with it is a whole other story. A little late on the delivery of that motherfucker, but better late than never, I suppose.
Well, that's just it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So and then an interesting segue from that to other news that dropped yesterday.
Hold on, before you switch the news topic, what was that fucking the abbreviation of the convention that I didn't know that our guest did. What was that called again?
Convention
in Vegas.
Oh, CES, Consumer Electronics Show. Yeah, it would have been busier yesterday, dude.
Yeah, well, fuck. I was gonna say we went to this nice prime rib restaurant before the show.
Yes,
and dude.
Yeah,
they had like half of the restaurant was like just these they look like they're all like in nice suits, like they must have they're my Chinese and Japanese executives and shit. Just fucking, I mean, you could see the place. I mean, you could almost see that they were gathering like out in the streets. They had fucking cones and police were in place. There was no problems. They were just getting ready for the crowds pouring in.
A lot of people, yeah. So when we used to do Vegas at this time we did an annual getaway with the team back in ICUC. The CES show was generally the same time as the AVN Awards. So the adult video, all the adult video news, basically the Oscars for the porn industry. So you'd go to
what I'd fucking perfect time. A bunch of motherfuckers don't get any.
True story.
There with a bunch of fucking people who just get it for a living. What a fucking combo.
That was it. It's exactly. So we were there one weekend, and I was there with my team. We were cruising in we were in a cab going from one place to the other. And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, so you guys in the porn industry?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm not in the porn industry." But it was just one of those kind of things. I'll tell you what also changed yesterday. Actually, over the last couple of days, this is pretty big.
How do you ask someone? I'm not talking about you specifically.
I know,
but how do you ask someone that has a fucking pocket protector on if they're in the porn industry? Hey, fuck. I would say like to the Uber driver, are you fucking blind? Do I need to get into another fucking cab?
Oh my God. So ChatGPT, Sterling Preston, what's the news coming out of OpenAI with ChatGPT yesterday?
Your doctor's busy. The internet's useless. Now your AI's like, I gotcha. That's seductive. The pitch is health coach. The reality is you're wiring your body into the internet. I'm not worried about the tech. I'm worried about the moment it feels normal to hand over your records.
So this is huge. This is actually a massive thing that is largely under the radar right now, but will be significant. So Johnny, hundreds of millions.
I just gotta say, I love fucking. It's like I get my briefing on the world in the first 15 minutes. This is fucking great, dude.
It's funny. You and me both, actually. The format of our show is working really well. I got a comment from a guy yesterday who he's like, I love your show, the characters, the humor, the comedy, how you weave it all in. He goes, your monologue at the end. I'm like, holy fuck, people are listening to my monologue at the end of the show. That means you staying for 2 hours. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Dude, I love it. Ben is out there keeping track of the social media world for me. You're out there keeping track of the real world for me. Yeah, you guys just report when I need to hear something. This is great.
I'm bringing you new people to meet every single day at 6:30 Eastern time. Hey, dude, speaking of Anne, who's been recruiting humans for us, dude, I got to tell you, man, we have a swath of upcoming guests that are just all over the fucking planet of interesting, man. So some days I'm just going to ask you to be patient like I'm going to be and go, how the fuck did this person end up here? Because we got some really interesting people. And I know like you, like me, you're curious like me and you're curious about humans and you're curious about why we do things. We're finding some really interesting ones, brother. Seriously. Like some ones are like, really, how the fuck and why would you do that?
I think we just need to ask them, are they promoting a multi-level marketing model?
Oh, like magic juice?
Yeah, as long as they're not. So it's kind of like the joke in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I'm not racist when I say this. The joke in San Francisco was, when you want your driver's license, the first question is, are you Asian? If you check that box, here you go. Because the fucking drive, sometimes you would get these guys or these, Asians that I swear to God, they'd never driven in a car, just trying to figure out where to go in a fucking city like San Francisco. Crazy, like crazy, and not that they were bad drivers, they're just going so slow. They didn't know what was going on, but that needs to be the question on the first question on our thing. Are you promoting a multi-level marketing?
Magic Happy Juice. Christopher Martin, is that what we're promoting here? Is it Happy Juice, Marty? Jimmy, let's...
He's loving that, baby.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen that before.
Let's see.
I can't even get a word in, man.
I don't think Mark's laughing at that because he didn't like it. I think he's like, "Oh my god, what did I just see?"
That is
that's
awesome.
Pretty fucking funny, man. That's pretty good.
Fucking cool, man. Good job, team. I haven't seen that before. That is awesome. That is fucking awesome, Jimmy, Jericho, Melissa. That is good work, Jimmy. I'm sorry, Marty. How are you, man? You were listening to Johnny's comments about our traffic drivers in San Francisco.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
It wasn't my fucking saying. I'm just don't kill the messenger. You know, I didn't live in San Francisco. I never had to deal with it.
You're right.
Christopher, how are you, brother? Update Keith and Johnny on the world of C. Marty for the last few days, pal. How are you been?
I'm amazing, man. Just kicking ass like the Winnipeg Jets, man.
Oh, shut up. They're not kicking ass. They're actually last in the league right now.
Damn.
Hey, how's the new business going, brother? What's going on with the new business?
It's going well, man. I got about 3 clients still. So, but I've been reaching out, working on some more.
Nice.
And just as the training is it's doing really well, man. So I got like a lot of like medical people and people in law enforcement that work overnight. So that's what's conflicting with the schedule kind of. They get off at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. So, but everything's going good, man. I can't complain, you know.
Are you working on the concept of not trading your own personal time for money?
Absolutely. Yeah.
My man, that's it. As long as you stay focused on that, it's going to grow.
Absolutely.
It's just a lot of times people get caught in that loop. It's like, oh man, I can go make X amount of dollars doing this. And that's great just to get a little seed money and get out of the gate. But pretty soon, if you stay focused on either my money or other people are going to make me money, life starts to really evolve. So it's a great job staying focused on that, brother.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm only in the gym about 4 hours. You know, at one time I was in the gym for 10 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's going down. I'm not in there all day. And look, Johnny, new shirt, man. I got some anime type Dragon Ball Z, CMF, C Marty Fit.
Look at that, yeah.
You know, yeah, man.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Working. We've been working, man.
Yeah. Coming up, David Frangioni, how a childhood cancer survivor became the go-to guy for rock legends. We're meeting the guy who Ozzy Osbourne repeatedly dubbed a rocket scientist with electronics. David Frangioni is joining the show in a few moments. Hey, yesterday, Marty, Johnny, some other news broke, which I thought would be interesting to the three of us. It has to do with the world of testosterone. John, the first instant testosterone test you can take on your phone.
Interesting. Do we have a thing we're supposed to watch now?
Yeah, I was waiting too.
Yeah,
Jericho. You didn't say Jericho. That's why.
You know, CES just turned hormones into an app metric. That sounds useful. It also sounds like trouble.
Now, every dude who's ever said, I feel off, is about to become a full-time detective. Spit tests, charts, theories. But hey, this could help guys dial things in, or give them one more reason to overthink breakfast.
So these guys have been doing this research for 6.5 years, and it's essentially saliva to app, real-time results anywhere. They won Best Innovation Award, first instant cortisol test with them. Then we're expanding to hormone eater with testosterone and progesterone. So not only did they develop the first instant cortisol test, John, but they also developed their hormone meter, it's called, with testosterone and progesterone. You know what we'll do, guys? I'm gonna see if I can get that team on the show who developed this, so we can talk to them about this product. But apparently, it's for the first time you can see what your bodies are. Your body is producing testosterone or progesterone by basically a saliva test, John.
That's next level shit.
It is. So talk about how impactful that could be to us regular men if it's as good as we hope it could be.
Well, I was going to say that's going to be because hopefully it's really fuck good. I know nothing about it, but like remember, so let's make an example. Like remember when the scales came out where you could stand on them barefoot and they would read your body composition.
Yes.
So those were designed for they were really just designed in a certain way. Like perfect example, if you were losing weight, just standard weight, calorie deficit, losing fat and muscle, that thing was much more accurate than say if you're muscle losing. It wasn't really designed to detect all, because it's a different process in the body. So I'm very curious if this, and I'm not saying anything bad. I don't know.
No, I know.
A lot of times when you see this from the outside, oh my God, it's great, until you start to understand, well, shit, it only works. It works this way, and not really good over here, but not really good over here, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious about it as well. I'll see if we can get the team on the show here that are developing this thing, and we can take a look at it. Marty, have you tried those body mass index scales?
Oh yeah, I have them. I use them for my clients too.
Oh, you do, eh? Yeah.
They're pretty cool, and I like it just because of the body fat percentage thing.
Of course,
especially training women and stuff. Sometimes the scale ain't going down, so you can still see progress in other areas. So it's helpful.
Yeah, coming up, a guy who Ozzy Osbourne dubbed a rocket scientist with electronics, David Frangioni, how a childhood cancer survivor became the go-to guy for rock legends, coming up here in a couple of moments here on Mornington Live with Keith, John, and Marty. We go live every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Hey, guys, I found a good clip I got to put on the table before we bring David into the lab. It's from our boy, Tiger Woods. He's talking about what it takes to be savage. Jericho.
Dominant or a savage is basically through work ethic, right? It's to do every little nitty gritty details that are ugly, that are hard, that are mundane. Quite frankly, a lot of times you don't see the results for maybe years to come, but it's the little details that it takes each and every day to be successful.
Yeah, so true. It's such basic stuff, but I love when you get some of those words of wisdom from people that we hear from when you see their success. Marty, what do you think when you see Tiger saying that?
That's crazy, because I saw a video. I saw a video yesterday where it basically said top performers are almost bored because they put so many repetitions in.
Yeah,
right? They did this shit so much that their best games they're bored, or they're focused on something else. Like, some NBA player said, his best game ever was when he was focused on what he's going to eat for dinner, because he was so prepared for the game. That makes more sense. Yeah, things get mundane, and that's how you become great.
Martin, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, I think, excuse me. I think the idea of repeating things it's fucking simple math, man. As soon as you find the shit that most people walk away from, that's the juice.
Yes,
it's so fucking simple. Yeah, are you going against the grain? Yes. Okay, well then you're on your way. Are you following the fucking crowd? Yeah. Well, look, everybody's going over here. Well, fuck, get ready to go over there where everybody else is and be like them. Yeah. And it's the little shit. It's the little shit that you got to do, because you can't do the big shit without the little shit. That's the thing you got to remember. If you can't get up and do this small 30-second fucking task every day, how the fuck are you going to get up and do a 3-hour task every day?
Well, that's why I laugh. People are like, yeah, I'm going to start a business. Oh, yeah? Okay. Good luck. And I'm not trying to say don't. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. But but you haven't finished that 30-second task like John was saying that you're going to go try.
No, actually, they went and got their LLC. So they're ready.
Oh my God! Marty.
I was going to say, I was like talking to somebody the other day about quote unquote starting a business.
Yeah,
and I said, make some fucking money first before you get the LLC. Just let's get going. Let's get some clients first.
I went fucking so many years without an LLC. You need something to fucking own and protect before you fucking put it in there.
The first thing we all should do is just get a Stripe account. Get a Stripe account. Go get somebody to give you money. So use the money from your Stripe account. Your Stripe account should come first before your LLC. So you can go get some money from somebody. Go solve a problem.
Dude,
go and give somebody. Go ahead, Joe.
It's like fucking buying the fucking wheels for the car that you plan on buying in 10 years.
or my bad. Last one, Keith. I'm working on the logo. I got to get my logo right. I don't know which logo to choose.
Process over hype. Being a savage is not delivering your logo or your LLC. A savage is not about intensity and short bursts. No, it is about treating the process, the practice, the routines, and the discipline is non-negotiable, even when it is ugly and mundane.
If you've ever worked your ass off and wondered if the dream is slipping further away, you're not alone. You do the work. You stay disciplined. And still, there's that quiet question. am I actually building towards something real? Today, we're meeting David, someone who's lived inside that question and kept moving anyway. As a child, David survived eye cancer. That experience reshaped his world early, and music became his anchor. By 12, he was playing professional gigs in Boston clubs, while most kids were still discovering their interests. At 16, David started a music technology business. Not a hobby, a real operation. That path led him to become Aerosmith's in-house recording engineer and technologist for over 13 years. He helped design studios, engineer records, and solve problems when the pressure was high and the stakes were real. He also helped build the first all Pro Tools studio used to record Ricky Martin's Livin' La Vida Loca. Today, David works with artists and creators who want control over their craft, their tools, and the life they're building. He believes the dream isn't impossible. It just requires clarity, patience, and showing up long after motivation fades. Today, we're talking ambition, passion, technology, and the grit it takes to build something that actually lasts. David, we're excited to have you on Mornings in the Lab. Welcome.
You're right. Age 2 was actually the best thing that ever happened to your career. Fellas, this guy beat eye cancer as a toddler. He found salvation behind a drum kit, and by 12, he was playing Boston's roughest clubs. Let's bring him in. The man himself, David Frangioni. The Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, Marty, and everybody else. What's shaking, David?
Good morning,
What's up,
guys.
David, what's up, brother?
Dude, I love your backdrop, man. I think we can spend the whole show just talking about what's hanging over your shoulders over there, man. Jeez, where do we start? I love the cassette over the left shoulder. What's that cassette over there, man?
Big ones. Aerosmith. That's, the third or fourth album I did with them. I mean, look, guys, it's the accolades are great. They're recognition for accomplishment, achievement, that the work paid off, that people like the creations that we made. Thank God that the wall you see is 1/100th of the walls that are adorned with awards. But really, it's about what it takes to get there, stay there, and grow from there, because I'm never content where I'm standing or sitting. So these awards are a reminder of what's possible, but they're yesterday's news. I'm very grateful for them. I'm very proud of them, and I have incredible memories and experiences to share. But it's all about, what am I doing today? And
Dude, I love that. That's fucking so good. I remind myself all the time, nobody gives a shit what you did yesterday. What are you willing to do today?
Pretty much.
Yeah. David, where are you joining us from today, brother? Where are you joining us from today?
I am in Palm Beach, Florida.
Nice. Nicely done. That's fantastic. So was struck by your story, and which is, as I was doing a little bit of research, I wanted to bring you back here. Bring you onto the show. Dude, let's get into cancer as a young kid. Like, that is, let's start right there. Let's start with how that journey in your life starts for you.
Well, the context of it is I had an amazing family. My mom and dad, I have a brother, John, who's very accomplished oncologist, youngest professor in the history of Harvard University. And he started a company called Curadel that has a prostate and breast cancer that's launching in the next year. So my parents were really, really nurturing, loving. We grew up with no economic means. I wouldn't even call it middle class. If we're looking at the reality of what where I started. Of course, no connections. Just no opportunities. The nurturing was loving, which was huge. It was parenting that from two people that genuinely loved their children and would do anything for them. And then I figured out the rest through just hard work and determination and a passion for never wanting to be where I was, quite frankly. Could it have been worse? Of course it could have. But it was bad enough that I was driven to go to heights that, I could only dream about. There was no tangible evidence that anything was achievable. So I had to find that belief in myself. And my parents were incredibly loving. They had my brother 15 years after they were married, and the doctor said you couldn't have kids, but we can't tell you why. So he was kind of a miracle child. Then 3 years later, they have me. So the context of this is so important because a lot of parents, want to have children and they have children. But my parents weren't in that situation. So when they had us, it was like, oh my God, the dream has come full circle. Then 2 years into my life, my parents are brought the news, oh, your son has eye cancer and he's either going to die, lose his sight entirely, and you're going to have a blind child, or be half blind. And for anybody, that's devastating. For my parents, it was life altering. And they, you know, in 1969, when it happened, they would always tell me years later, as I grew older, we were very, very close. You know, they passed away now years ago, but we were always very close. And they would always say to me, you know, we kind of died in 1969 when that happened, and we kind of relived as your life took shape. So that's the context. So I lost my eye. Of course, that's traumatic. Of course, only seeing out of one eye and having a prosthetic is, you know, has a number of challenges. I was bullied. You know, I didn't.
Well, brother, real quick, sorry to interrupt. I didn't really pick that up when you first came on.
No, neither did I.
Me neither.
Well, thank you. Well, I've had surgeries over the years to get it to look more natural. When I was a kid, the lid was very closed and it was very obvious. Called a lot of attention to itself in kind of an unwanted way.
Dude, you look. I thought this fucking guy. This looks like he's been having a lot of fucking fun in the studios. What it looks like to me, you know.
Well, maybe that's true too. You know, we are rock and roll after all.
Well, I was gonna say that should be the story. Yeah, fuck, man. You know, shit. This is If somebody notices, because it's really fun. I mean, I would have not have known, brother. Looks you fucking really cool.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. I mean, thank God for the surgeries and modern, you know, opportunities. And you know, but as a kid, it didn't look natural, and I was an outcast. So all of that is the context of my upbringing that really drove me to kind of be a loner. So what ended up happening, right? It's all hindsight, all crystal clear, you know, when you look back. And you know, what ended up happening were two big things. You know, one is I immersed myself into everything to do with music, which set the basis for how I approached everything in my life from that moment on, because I've never stopped that approach. I'm an all or nothing person. Like, I want to go big or I want to go home. I'm not interested in the middle. I'm not in people. Take it slow. Go try this. No. We're building the tallest skyscraper that has ever been imagined. Or I love it. Right. So that started then. That started when I was a little kid. And the second thing in coordination with that was I became a collector, because, you know, there's two types of people in the world, they say, people who collect and people who don't. And one doesn't really understand the other. I never learned that really till I got older, because I was the collector mind from an early age. And that was because, again, I could do it by myself. So, you know, the drums are an instrument that I, for whatever reason, I was attracted to and I had a passion towards. I think it was because it was very visual. It let out a lot of the energy that I had, and I just loved it. And then collecting was kind of like the quiet time thing, but both of them could be done at that stage anyway. And collecting, even to this day, can be done by yourself. Music is a community driven, you know, experience. But at that time, when you're a young kid, it doesn't have to be as much. But as you grow, it's all about, you know, collaboration. Whereas collecting was like, I could just go to baseball card shows or whatever, and just me. And you could make fun of me. You could point to my eye. You could make, you know, you could do whatever you wanted, but I could collect my cards and I could kind of find my refuge. So that was like up to 12 years old when I was starting to play clubs and starting to explore playing with older musicians than me, of course, because kids my age, you know, were playing in garages and basements.
Let me jump in there, David. So Marty and John, so it's quite clear to me that David might be a humble soul, because at 12 years old, John and Marty, he's playing clubs in Boston, and he started hanging out with and playing with John. You might recognize a few names here that I'll just throw on the table here. So Frangioni has played with a few guys like some guy named Jagger, Johnny, like Stones guy. He's hung out with some guy named Steven Tyler and the guys at Aerosmith, and some guy that Marty, he died a few months ago. I think his name's Ozzy. He's been doing some stuff with Ozzy, some guy from the Beatles too named Ringo Starr, and some guy named Elton John. So Mr. Humble David here, John and Marty, Frangioni, has been hanging out at the clubs playing music since 12 years old, while his peers are all playing baseball and hockey and sports. And Frangioni, you're out there fucking rocking it up in the clubs, man. Like, tell us about that. 12 years old, you're in Boston clubs, and you're meeting these, that's just frank, you're meeting these musical icons today.
Well, let's put it in context. The musical icons and collaborators of mine came later as my career grew.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now these are people that I'm working with, and that's, you know, part of accomplishing my dreams and being able to do big things.
Yeah.
But the 12-year-old David
Yeah.
was not anywhere close to those people other than buying their records and hanging their posters on my wall. And in the clubs, I'm playing dumps. You know, I'm playing places that.
But dude, you're 12 years old.
Yeah, I'm 12 years old.
Fuck, man. How many? Let's just double that metric. How many at 24 actually have the confidence to do that?
It's true. Well, you know, and that's the blessing, John.
So let's put this in hold on. Let's put this in context. Our man here is our man here is the man. Period. He can downplay it. Oh, well, let's put it in context. I met all those people later. You were fucking 12 in the clubs, dude. That was awesome. I want to hear about that. Fuck.
Well, thank you. It was about me wanting more. You know, it was the go big or go home at that age, you know, unconscious, but that was what was in my soul, and that was what was driving me. So what I would do is I would just go out and find musicians. I was standing in a bank in my town. I grew up in Arlington, a suburb of Boston. I was standing in the bank with my mom, and some kid who looked like a rocker was in line. And I just started talking to him. He's like 5 years older than me. And he had a band. And the next thing you know, I'm in his basement jamming. And the next thing you know, we're playing clubs. Like I would go to the opening of an envelope. Like I just wanted to play. And so it was any opportunity.
I would go to the opening of an envelope. I've never heard that before. That is fucking funny, man.
That's got to be that's an industry term there for sure.
I think so.
Gotta be.
Just wanted to play, man. So the clubs. So what ended up happening is right. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
So I'm now. I'm like, all right, great. You know, I got gigs. They don't pay anything. I mean, that was the last thing that was possible at that moment. I just wanted to be on the stage. And so now I'm playing these places 3-4 nights a week, different clubs around Boston and you know, Somerville and Alston and wherever. And it is, you know, they're shitholes. So, but what was amazing about it is I was learning what it was like to be in a band that young.
Yes.
So there's two sides to answering your question, right? One side is like the salacious stories and, you know, putting my costume on in the wine storage rooms while I was tiptoeing and jumping up so I wouldn't step on the cockroaches, and you know, and walking by the hookers and like there's all those salacious stories. But the other side of it is, if we want to look at it from the business perspective and the growth perspective that also is embedded in that question, it's like what I learned was miraculous, because I was learning shit that people would learn 15, 20 years later in most cases. What it's like to band, what it's like to play at clubs, what it's like to do original music, what it's like to book a band and get screwed, what it's like to have and not have a contract, what it's like to load in, load out, and have logistics.
Dude, you were being raised in the fucking environment you wanted to live in. That, you know how rare that is?
I know. That's fucking awesome.
Didn't.
I mean, it's like when you have a second or a third generation anything. I mean, like, it's just like for example, I had a pool built at my lake house, and I was like, I interviewed all these dudes. There was one guy he was a third generation. I'm like, he's my guy. He's got, you know, he's raised in this. He didn't go learn. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And that's you, brother. That's fucking, I mean, that's clearly why you're sitting in front of a wall of amazing experiences in your life.
Yeah.
Keith, John, and Marty, and David Frangioni hanging out this morning. Marty, got some stuff for David here this morning?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if, you know, everything you went through with your childhood, and, you know, it sounded like you had some obstacles, being bullied and stuff like that. Do you embrace that now? And are you happy that you went through it?
Yes, and yes. I mean, I can't imagine my life any other way, because when I look back, the eye cancer was so traumatic and so life-changing and altering and defining, quite frankly, that I don't know how my life would have played out any other way. So, you know, it all works out the way that it should. You know, I artists develop bands and help build artists' careers and music businesses. at a very, very, very high level. And I can still draw from experiences and strategies that were born in some cases from those ages, from that young of an age. And I will see artists 25 years old that are figuring things out that I'm able to help them figure out in minutes instead of months or years.
Yeah.
And I learned it, and John pointed to this perfectly when he gave the multi-generational pool example. It's like, I learned this experientially to the point where it is me.
You don't know any better.
Yeah.
You hear this guy say what he's trying to do, and you're like, okay, bing, bing, bing. And he's like, oh my God, how did you know that? And you're like, fuck, I don't know. I just know. So go do it, dude. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I love when Tony Robbins said, I heard him say one time, somebody told me I should go to a seminar when I was 17 years old. This is Tony telling the story. And Tony said, well, what's a seminar? And the description back to him was, it's a day of your time that saves you 20 years after you leave there. And that's my career right now for what I do with artists and tech companies.
Oh, man. David Frangioni, myself, John Andersen, and C. Marty Fit, Christopher Martin this morning, Mornings in the Lab with John and friends. Hey, Marty, John, I got goosebumps right now because we got another awesome guest who, John, just another story, right? A bump in life. And not even it's a bump in life, and look at where he is today and what he's accomplished because of that bump. And David, I got goosebumps, man, because I'm so grateful right now that you're hanging out with us. Johnny.
I was going to say this right here is you hear us talk, all listeners, you hear us talk about, and I make fucking videos about this constantly. What you think is kicking your ass the most is your fucking biggest blessing.
Yes.
So stop, just keep looking for the silver lining. You may not see it right away, but look at our man here. I mean, I would say I had no trauma like you had, but I had enough trauma that it pushed me in my own direction. I'm so fucking thankful for that. And brother, I mean, with you, holy shit, it pushed you to get on a stage at 12.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what I wanted early on, but I didn't have the fucking confidence to do it.
Savage Frangioni. So David, hey, I want to do a time check because I can tell right now the three of us are having lots of fun, and I can see the time coming up. I had you booked for 30. Do I have permission to ask you for more, or do you have a hard stop at top?
No, man. I gave us runway. I didn't realize it was going to be this good because I didn't know you guys as well as I'm getting to know you now. So no, I'm in it to win it. And awesome. I want to say to all three of you, thank you for the energy and the positive vibes and the insight and the passion that you have.
Yes.
And John, you brought up such another great point, is that my mom, one of the most incredible values she instilled in me from the moment I got out of the hospital, the day that I got out with my eye, so I'm 2 years and change, she said, "You're not a victim." For
that's amazing.
Second. Do you realize that my uncle, the shyster uncle that I had, got a handicap sign so he could park in front of all the freaking buildings everywhere, and my mom, and he didn't have anything wrong with him, but he was a shyster. And so my mom and dad, hey, this is what it's like. So this, it wasn't my family, it was my uncle who, whatever, that's another story. But the point is that my mom purposely, I would say, "Mom, he parks, he drives in at the last minute, gets the best parking spot." And she's like, "Yeah, and you know what? He's dishonest and he shouldn't even have that. But besides the fact, you're not getting a handicap sign." And I never have had one in my entire life.
Oh, man.
But that's just a small example of a big value.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, that first opening statement she made to you, "You're not a victim."
Yeah.
Fucking that was priceless for your life. And I don't mean monetarily. I'm talking about every area of your life.
That's right. That's right. Because you have to own it. And as soon as you make an excuse, or as soon as it's not your responsibility, you're done. It's 100% my responsibility. And so when things don't go the way you want them to, you've got to see why. And then I've got to be able to say, okay, what's the lesson here? And those lessons, man, it's hard to peel out some lessons when you're in pain or there's real conflict happening. But that's what the whole point of doing the work on yourself and doing the work in life and then trying to help others. And then you learn from doing that as well and inspiring others. That's what the whole point of it is. It's seen in those moments. It's not seen when we're all sitting here now having a conversation. There's no challenge. But when things really are hitting the fan, that's when I really see the work that I've done and the years that I've put in on being able to say, okay, here's how we're going to make a turn. We're going to pivot. And yes, we had this bump. It's happened. But here's where we're going with it. And then I always am able to elevate.
Love it. Marty, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say something. I was just going to say nowadays, everyone is looking for a reason to be a victim.
Yes.
Man, woman, regardless race. Hey, they're searching for shit. It's crazy. So I love that your mom said that.
So David, usually when guests leave, we'd like to have a little commiseration about our guest experience, but I'm just going to do it right in front of you. John and Marty, there's a trend that I'm grabbing from David as we're hanging out with him. The love for his parents. Hey, John, Marty, we've talked about all the guys he's worked with and the success he's had professionally, but it's quite striking to me, David, how much love you've had for your mother and father and how much love they had for you. And I bring it up because as a show, for the kind of show that we have, sometimes that's always not the case for our listeners. And it really strikes me the love that you clearly had as a young man growing up. I think it's clear. Am I right, David?
1,000%. And my wife. My wife, Carolina, we have a very close relationship. She's the greatest woman I've ever met other than my mother.
Oh.
And she's an incredible mother and wife and person. And so the standard was set so high that only Carolina have I met in my life that meets that standard. And we have the chemistry, of course, in addition to that. But that love was born starting, as a kid. So yes, my parents. And you know what? I have to say, and I think a lot of kids do this, but whether they do or they don't, I can say that I took it for granted for a long time, right? As a kid, you're immature, and you only know what you see. So what I saw was loving parents. Every parent is loving. Oh, every parent is nurturing. Oh, every parent will drop their kids off at 1 a.m. when they're 13 years old at a freaking club and let them play the drums. Like, oh, that's just what parents do. And then as you get older, you realize, holy crap, I had the 1 in a billion parents. Mm-hmm. Nobody would do that. And nobody would care that much and love me that much and trust me that much. And one of the things I wanted to make the point to Keith, Marty, and John, to you guys that you've all brought up and talked about, and John's really honed in on this, is that when I was a kid playing the clubs, the one of the biggest takeaways was how much I hated the lifestyle, but they let me experience that. I've never done a drug. I've never tried one drug in any capacity. I've never taken a puff of a cigarette. And I've never had alcohol other than a sip of wine or a champagne toast on New Year's. So that was all taken from that early age of seeing so much drug, prostitution, and alcohol use.
Quick question there, brother. What type of resistance did you get with that when you came into these worlds that were filled with that? Because I was, keep in mind, I was not when I came into my different worlds, there was a lot of that going on. And, there was sometimes me not wanting to participate was met with a lot of friction.
Yeah, no, it's true. There were moments, fortunately, the most kind of rampant use of that was when I was a kid in the 80s. There was a lot of it, and it was starting as I got my breaks. As we get into like 1986, 87, I'm still a teenager, but I'm like 18, 19 years old, and I'm starting to get breaks. I'm starting to make things happen. I'm transitioning out of the clubs and into music technology and onto what they call the other side of the glass, right? Because in the recording studio, you have the control room where all the tech producers are, and then you have the live room where everybody's playing. So the live room is where I started, the clubs, the stage as a drummer and musician, and then the other side of it is where my career took me and where I really wanted to be and am. But as that transition was being made to the other side of the glass, I was the music business in the world was changing. So drug use was people were getting clean. When I started with Aerosmith, they were in sobriety. So
no shit.
Oh yeah, that they were coming out of the the Toxic Twins.
Yeah.
So
that's perfect timing for you.
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this, David. So so you'll appreciate this, actually, David. I like to run a pro show here. I know that time is actually unlimited, but I like to run a pro show and I like to hit my mark. So we're at the top of the hour. We're going to do a lifestyle tip with Andersen. We're going to do a reset an hour or two. We're going to come back to conversation with you. Does that sound good?
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right. So Jericho will do a lifestyle tip with Andersen, come back, reset hour two. And we're going to keep the show going with Keith, John, Marty, and our guest this morning, David Frangioni, this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's do it, Jericho.
All right. We've been talking about this being the first week of most of you doing your resolution. We're going to keep rolling with that today. I believe tomorrow too, because tomorrow's Friday. So you're on day 4 because most of you started on the 4th, which was basically your first, so to speak. Keep in mind a New Year's resolution. I don't agree with the whole concept, but we're going with the fact that you've committed yourself to something that you've had trouble sticking to in years past. And I've given you a few tips on how to stay alive with this whole thing, and so you don't fall off. Well, here's something I want you to think about. And the tip is just a simple question you're going to ask yourself. You see, because statistically, the majority of you guys are going to fall off this resolution here shortly. And I know you're thinking, it's not going to be me, and good for you. Keep that positive state of mind. However, when you have those moments of weakness, you're like, you know what, blah, 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 whatever it is, that little voice inside your head is telling you to go back to your old ways. When you ask yourself a question, am I an average man or woman for that matter? Because the average man or woman will be done putting an effort to this resolution here in the next few weeks. Question is, are you an average man or woman? Rock and roll.
All right, if you're just joining us, welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I'm your host. I'm Keith. Over there's John. Over there's Marty. Over there's our guest, David Frangioni. This is a daily live show, live 8 o'clock Eastern time, that helps you get up and get after it with momentum, positive energy. I invite you to hit like, subscribe, and come say hi in the comments, you guys. We kicked things off in the morning loop. We got into the big news today. The food pyramid's been flipped upside down. No shit, Sherlock. Get rid of the sugar, put the meat on the table, and crush that meat, baby. ChatGPT has now got your health records, encouraging you to have a chat about your health with ChatGPT. And hey, we've been hanging out with David Frangioni. His story took us from childhood cancer to working behind the scenes with some rock legends, and we are keeping that conversation going right now. So guys, grab it, refill it. Jericho, let's keep this thing going right now.
You miss one day and your brain files a felony. That spiral hits confidence fast. I miss one workout and I start writing an apology tour. Then I ghost the plan. That's all or nothing thinking. It's not discipline, it's drama. The what the hell effect is real. One slip. You miss one day and your
Wait, I don't hear you.
I know here. Yeah, there we go, guys. Jerry, you guys got to manage my mutes for me, guys, over there. You guys are pushing the buttons back there. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling here. You are a collector, and you collect drum kits.
I did for a long time. Yeah, I'm not so much anymore. I did it for a long time. I had a drum museum. I'm on Netflix, King of Collectibles season 2.
I know, that's what I was going to get at, because your lovely wife's name, what, Caroline? Is that her name?
She's on the show. You see her greet the Dave and
yes. So I'm curious, how was that conversation with your lovely wife about wanting to accumulate drum kits over time?
Well, it started before we met.
Yes.
And it ended while we're married, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? Everything, life has cycles. And at a point in my life, I was very passionate about it. It had its place. I, had a lot of incredible musicians come by the museum. We inspired a lot of kids. Like it had a lot of good purpose and a lot of good use. I didn't really want the collection as something that was just for me. I started my life doing that. As we shared earlier, I was collecting and it was just really me, and my dad would take me to trade shows, baseball card shows when I was 8, 9 years old. I started a little business. I would go to flea markets and sell cards so I could buy others, called the Card King. And I put card with a K because that was like marketing genius at 8 years old. And so I was like really into it. And then, as life goes on, I got more and more, aware, like, wait a second, I'm like programmed to just collect. And now I have all these collections, and as my career expands and my means are greater, you can buy more stuff and cooler stuff and more rare things. And then all of a sudden you've accumulated, and then what it's for me? Like, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I wrote the book. I'm sure you guys know about this book. I wrote 2 books with Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
Right? It features all of my collection and all of, Clint's art. These are all movie posters and items that I collect. Yeah. And so this is an example where I got to a point where I had, the Eastwood collection, right? I know it's not the drum kits, but it's a similar story.
Clint's a savage, man. He's a savage. What is he, 142 now? Like, he's actually a savage dude. Dirty Harry, greatest movies ever.
He was an amazing collaborator.
Yeah.
I cold called him, basically.
Come on.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell us. So, Johnny, Marty, for everybody's, I got to get my LLC started, John. I don't want to call somebody because I got to get my LLC. Marty, I got to get my logo. Frangioni's fucking cold calling Clint Eastwood to do some business.
Well, and ended up writing 2 books with him. But here's the thing. It wasn't a total cold call. My career was established enough that I was able to make inroads at Warner, right, where he is in El Paso.
Yeah.
So I was able to like get right to the point of direct connections. And I'll tell you you guys want to hear a story about the Clint Eastwood?
No, not at all. No, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll talk about that.
No, of course we do. Tell us the story, you bugger.
I'll make it as fast as I can. But I think it's a great example of perseverance, and I think it embodies kind of every story in my life. If you will. So I come up with the idea that I'm gonna take all these items I have, and I'm not just gonna have them in a room in my house so I see them. I'm gonna share them with the world, and I'm going to write a book. And so I put together a mock chapter and a table of contents and all these things. And, I learned from all the things. I'd never written a book before, but I had worked on enough records and projects that I understood the creative process. So I applied that to the book world. And then I started to learn very quickly. Now we're in 2007, 2008. So the internet is not as prevalent. There's no AI or there's no like ask somebody and get every answer you can in 5 seconds. I had to do some legwork. And so I figure out what I need to do, and I realize I need to find a publisher. So I go out and I find a publisher who believes in the book, and they say to me, the only way that we're going to do this is if Clint's involved. I'm like, oh, that's the only condition. 900 items I have of his, that no one's ever seen before aren't enough for the book. Nope, we want Clint involved. So, all right. So I had an office in LA, which I still have. And so I went out there and I started networking, and I find a person who is directly connected to Clint's agent of 50 years. And so I'm like, oh, perfect. So I bring my mock chapter book and show it to this woman. And she goes, oh, this is incredible. I'll show it to the agent. She shows it to the agent. We set up a meeting like 2 weeks later to reconnect on it. We're back at dinner, and I don't want to I didn't know how to sit down at dinner and basically say what I was thinking, right? And go what do you say? I felt like that felt like very transactional, even though I was really hyped up to find out what he said. But we're at dinner, and it's like the dinner's going on, and we're talking, and there's a little group of us, my little, team with her. And finally, I'm like, did you bring the book to Lenny? And if you Google Lenny, Clint's agent, you'll see he's passed away now, but he was his agent forever. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, oh, well, he must have loved it because she would have told me it's dead. And I said, well, what'd he say? And she said, oh, Clint will never go for it. I said, what? And she said, yeah, Clint he's not into that kind of stuff. He doesn't like vanity. He's not interested. I'm like, oh my God. So, all right. So that's done. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. So the next meeting after this one, I'm at the Beverly Hills Hotel in the Polo Lounge, and I'm kind of holding court, and like people are kind of cycling in and out of my table, and I'm doing my meetings for the day. I had kind of a workflow of that when I would be in LA. And so the next meeting is a meeting with this person that's being introduced to me because I was asked to launch a business. This is again in 2007, where it was called I Was There, and we were going to work with Live Nation, and we were going to sell videos of the show right after the concert, right? Long story, has nothing to do with anything other than that was what this meeting was for. Obviously that idea died, but this woman comes in as part of the meeting, and we're talking, and I'm distracted in my head because I'm like, I can't believe this. And as we're talking, she works, I'm not joking, this story is not being embellished. This is exactly what happened. She works at Warner Brothers, and her office looks at the Malpaso building on the lot. She looks out her window and sees Clint Eastwood driving up every day. That's where her office is. I am like, I don't even know what to say next. I am so like, oh my God, this is it. So long story short, she makes the intro directly to Clint within 2 weeks, and he loves the idea. The agent never brought it to him. He just supposed that Clint wouldn't be into it, which obviously happens with a lot of gatekeepers, as we know. And I learned that as I've gone on, how to circumvent the gatekeepers, because most of the time they're not doing what's best for the person who they're gatekeeping. And so Clint loves the idea. And do you guys know the shark in Jaws had a name, Bruce?
Yes.
You guys
Yeah.
Right? You're familiar with the folklore? Yes. And the reason for that is because Spielberg's lawyer is named Bruce, and he's one of the most feared lawyers in the world. And I'm a huge Jaws fan.
Me too.
And so after we make the deal, Clint says, yeah, I'm going to do it. He says, just run the paperwork by my attorney. I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? Bruce. I'm like, oh, don't tell me this is it's the same Bruce. So now I'm negotiating with the Jaws lawyer. His 3 clients, Cher, Clint, and Spielberg. And so anyway, we make the deal. I get through that in one piece, and we have the book, and the profits go to charity. And Clint loved what we created, and you know what? He was doing Invictus.
Yeah,
I finished all the photography for the book, and I FedExed it to him. Again, this is like internet. You didn't. There was no Dropbox. I FedExed the photos, and his assistant said to me, look, he's flying to Africa to do Invictus. He's going to look at it when he can, but don't expect like any kind of, bravado. You're not going to get a phone call from him saying, the greatest photos I've ever seen. Just be happy if he lets you use them and he green lights them. And he calls after he gets to Africa and says, I love every photo in the book. Can I keep the photo book you sent? This is just the draft, photos to see. This isn't the book. And I'm like, of course you can. And because I had it leather bound and I had it like really nice, presentable for him. And he's like, can I keep this? Then the book comes out. And when the book comes out, he reaches out to me and says, can I buy 150 copies? That's going to be my Christmas gift this year to all of my famous friends.
Wow.
2009.
Keith, John, and Marty hanging with our guest, David Frangioni, this morning. Hey, John, Marty.
Story.
Hey, John and Marty, I would love to sit down with David when he has time to tell us a long story instead of a short story.
That's as short as I can make that.
That was pretty quick, man.
That's 2.5 years.
I'm sure you left plenty of details out.
David, we tease through love here on the show, but we're going to keep the show rocking and rolling here because I think there's a theme here that I want to bring all of us into that I suspect has happened to you, David, in your life. I know it's happened to my life. It's happened to Marty's and it's happened in John's. It's this idea, because right now we're in the middle of this first week of the year, missing a day of doing something and why it might be beating you up. You missed a day and your brain tried to declare the whole year a failure. Today, for the next few minutes, I want to have a conversation about breaking the all or nothing trap so you can recover fast, rebuild momentum, and start restarting your goals.
You miss one day and your brain files a felony. That spiral hits confidence fast. I miss one workout and I start writing an apology tour. Then I ghost the plan. That's all or nothing thinking. It's not discipline, it's drama. The what the hell effect is real. One slip turns into a weekend. Reset is a skill, not a mood. You return in 24 hours, even smaller. I'm done with the Monday restart fantasy. Coffee then one priority, and I'm back.
Guys, let's tackle this idea of all or nothing thinking for a few minutes here because it's a cognitive distortion. John, starting with you, man, when we miss something, we go, oh, I'm inconsistent. And all of a sudden we fuck it. It's like you said, oh, I missed a day. Now I'm going to go sit back and crush the rest of my day with eating shitty food. And you know what I mean? It's just, and so I want to ask you the same question, go to Marty and go with David, this whole idea where if we miss something when we're trying to be perfect at it, we want to give our audience the idea of self-forgiveness through consistency and grace and starting again. Johnny, starting with you.
If you kind of, as our man here keeps saying, the term he uses, put it in context. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of let's look at this from a different side. You know, having a couple potato chips, it's enough, fuck it, now I'll have dessert, is much like stubbing your fucking toe and saying, fuck it, now I'm going to break my leg. Why? Just limp for fucking 10 minutes and keep going.
This guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you look at it like that, it's pretty fucking simple. A couple potato chips doesn't mean you have to fucking eat like shit for the rest of the day and feel like hell for a much longer period. That toe's going to be gone in 2 minutes. You break your leg, you're in the hunt now.
You know what it comes down to, John, is that choices are underrated.
Yeah,
that's really, it's as simple as that. Choices are underrated.
Oh, interesting.
We're making these choices, and the choice to have the chip, and then the choice to make that mean that now we can just indulge, and then we can be self-destructive.
I want to twist that just a little bit. I totally agree. I so agree. But I think we could even sweeten it by saying hard choices. You know, when it's people are not making hard choices. People are making fucking choices. They're just not fucking making the ones they need to make.
Yes. You know? Marty, here's something for you, because Marty, you've said this a number of times on the show. Marty, lean into this one. Consistency is built through identity, not intensity. Marty.
Yeah, so if we're, talking about fitness, sorry I had to choose fitness, but this is what comes natural to me and Johnny, right? A lot of people, they'll have a New Year's resolution. They'll go to the gym, go 2-hour workouts, go super hard, and then they fall off, right? But you're better off doing 20 minutes, 3, 4, 5 times a week and keeping that up consistently over months. You're going to get more results like that. So a lot of people, they want to, I guess they just want to go hard, right? They want to get the result in one day. It's not going to happen like that, right? So you got to have a longevity mindset and just get 1% better. If you focus on just getting 1% better, you'll eventually hit the goal. And in that 1% mindset, 1% better mindset, you're going to make mistakes. So you might stub your toe like Johnny was talking about. So just expect that along the journey.
And David, I got to think, you're a great example, right? So I'm thinking about your drumming career coming up with a 12-year-old. So intensity might have been fun for a week. You're getting after it hard, 12, 13 years old. But the identity you created is what made you show up time and time again on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, when the cockroaches were there, when the motivation was gone. And then over time, you created this identity. It really had nothing to do with intensity, but that identity became your consistency, which achieved your success. David.
It did. And I I have been called very intense on top of that. So I think I have,
Yeah.
there's quite a few people who have said to me, you're really intense. And they're probably right. But that intensity is it's not seen in spurts. It's seen all the time. And so yes, I have to regulate it. You can't, it's like, you don't red line a car at 7,000 RPM for, 8 hours. You do it in the moments that you need it to overtake, the turn or to win the race. But the rest of the time you're running a marathon, and you've got to be steady, and you've got to be consistent, and you've got to be, look, the hardest thing in the world is overcoming all the days when you don't want to do it. You know how many days I woke up growing up in Boston? It's freezing cold. It's dark at 4 o'clock. Like, there's no environmental inspiration. Now I'm in Palm Beach. There's tons of environmental inspiration, and I've earned where I sit. So I've earned that inspiration, and I re-earn it every day. But before that, for many years, I was in a really, really, really tough environment, not only economically, but environmentally, physically, emotionally, the very blue collar. It's like people are telling you, oh man, like someday you might work for UPS like your next door neighbor does, and you'll really have made it. And I would just be like, oh my God, if that's making it, I'll kill myself. Like, that's not my calling. That's not how I want to spend my time. That's not what I'm here for. I have much bigger aspirations. I have much more creative outlets. I've got a lot to create, a lot to share, a lot to do. And so I knew that I needed to stay, part of winning is just staying in the game. I know that's something people say all the time. It's become very cliche, but it's really true. Like 90% of the competition I had in 1990, I don't have today. And a lot of it hasn't been replaced. So stay in it. And that's where that consistency that you're referring to, and that pace of, like, you can't stay in the game, never mind win it. You can't even stay in it if you're burning yourself out, or you're going in you're letting emotions drive, what's going to happen. No, you have to drive the emotions,
Johnny.
And on that level, brother, I love that, because, if you can stay in the game, that's obviously step one. So agree. And you're a prime example. You stayed in the game, but you love what you do. So now your pace is faster than everybody else, and they can't keep up because they don't love. When you love it, your pace is just going to be faster.
Yeah.
When someone's showing up for a paycheck, they're moving like a fucking snail, and they can maintain that. That's all they got. When you add, when the money, basically sits behind the love, the money will eventually supersede the love. But now you're moving at a pace nobody's going to be able to keep up with. But you hit it so on the head, brother. The foundation is the fucking, it's what's the I love to say. You're going to be, you're going to miss 100% of the shots you're not in the fucking game to take.
So true. Hanging out with Keith, John, and Marty this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. David, we're going to wrap up here in in about 2 minutes here. All but right. Before we go, I do have a question. So there's so much we could talk about here today. You've had such an exceptional career.
Yes.
Have interacted with some pretty iconic humans. But you know what I love about this too is that that's the easy stuff to go to. This is not a show to talk about Steven Tyler and Aerosmith. This is about David, right? I sometimes think that when we get these people, it's like, oh, we get these names dropping, and everybody wants to know about all the people you were working with, which is great. But that's why I was curious about your mom and your dad and about all, because we want to know about you. We want to know about what got you here. But dude, there's something you did which was quite extraordinary, and Johnny laughs because I'm the nerd amongst the three of us here. Dude, you did something. So you helped build the first all Pro Tools studio with Ricky Martin and Desmond Child. So guys, we know who Ricky Martin is and Desmond Child. Desmond Child's, guys, I don't know if you know John and Marty, one of the biggest songwriters in the world that nobody knows about. Would you not agree, David? Seriously.
Well, a lot of people know about him. He wrote a book, Living on a Prayer, that's a bestseller.
Yes.
But he's a behind the scenes guy.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
He's the other side of the glass.
Yeah.
Ricky's on the side where he's performing, and Desmond's on the control room side.
Yeah. So talk about when you built that, you built that studio, you built that number one hit record entirely in Pro Tools. There would have been a million skeptics saying that digital will never sound as good as analog, but yet you were so convinced that the future was going this way. And John and Marty, I love this because he shut out all the fucking noise. He shut it all out, and he created one of the biggest number one singles in the world because of his commitment. David, talk about that.
Well, it was the first number one song on Billboard to be entirely done what they call in the box, which means in a computer. Because for many years, as we know, when we see the Beatles Get Back and you see, any kind of studio footage pre-2000, you see, open reel tape machines, whether they're analog or digital, you see large format consoles. So that would be like the traditional studio setup that we had. And then when you take all of that capability and functionality and you put it inside of a computer, and now instead of a console, all of the mixing is done what they call in the box. That's how all music is done today, but it was novel at the time. And what used to happen is Pro Tools would be what was called like a sidecar, meaning you had this computer and it would be next to the tape machine, and you would offload tracks from the reel on into the computer, and you'd edit, and you'd have nonlinear editing, and then you put it back. So it was like that was considered state of the art. But my vision was, this is I saw the studio of the future. And, I've been able to see that for whatever reason, and however I'm wired, that this is almost natural to me. That happened in the 80s with MIDI. I helped pioneer MIDI. I helped pioneer home studios. I helped pioneer digital in home studios when it was on VHS tape and high 8. Then I helped usher in Pro Tools just in general, helped develop it, beta test it, then created studios around it, first sidecars, and then entire studios, to the point where Desmond had the confidence, he had the vision, but he had the confidence in my technological ability that this was actually going to work, right? Because if he's producing and writing Ricky Martin's breakout album, which at the time hadn't broken out, right? Everything is like what we want to happen. And so the only way it's going to happen, besides the audience loving the song, is that everything works. And he trusted me because I had worked with him with Aerosmith. I met Desmond because he wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah.
He wrote Crazy.
You know what's crazy, David, is that John and Marty would know this, but I joke, I'm the nerd amongst all of us. I remember when MIDI came out. I was the nerd behind the scenes reading and tracking all your shit. So to be here right now, like I'm kind of nerding out with in my own blood, because I'm talking to a dude who created a lot of shit behind the scenes. And I'm a behind the scenes guy. I love learning about everything you're talking about now. Right. I think it's awesome. David, before we go with you, where can folks connect with you, find you, engage with you to keep a conversation going if they want to with you, David?
At David Frangioni. I have my YouTube channel. I have my Instagram, TikTok, of course, davidfrangioni.com. Yeah. And I'm the proud owner, my wife and I, of Modern Drummer, which we acquired 5-6 years ago. It's the #1 drum community in the world since 1977. And so, of course, moderndrummer.com. And our rundown. And
will you come back, hang out with us again, and do this more often?
100%. You guys are great. I love what you're doing. I love how you're inspiring and educating people to dig in and find the grit within, to not give up and to figure out a way forward. Don't make excuses. And if you say you're going to do it, because that's the hardest part.
Well, and we like to educate our brother Marty, because Marty's the younger one in the group here, and Marty did not grow up with what I'm going to show. I'm going to put on the table for myself, David, and John right now. Marty, we've talked about Robbie and Evel Knievel on the show, Marty. So I got something to show you here, man. So Johnny and David, check this out. Remember this, guys? When Evel Knievel did a jump across I think this one's across the Grand.
Yeah, that's the son. That's not Evel. That's Robbie.
That's Robbie. So Marty, this is the entertainment that Keith and John and David grew up watching on a Friday night. It was him jumping the
ABC Wide World of Sports.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, so I remember.
Yeah, me too. He jumped the Grand Canyon, Marty. That was like a big deal. So Marty, so now we get the shit, just your Red Bull stuff nonstop and X. This was a pretty big deal for David, Keith, and John growing up. Where it was. Look at that. Hey, there you go. Robbie, that's crazy.
I was an Evel Knievel and Robbie Knievel fan. Hugely. He didn't make
it. Look at how fucking high he was coming on that landing ramp, dude. Look at it. Look at the space there.
That's
like,
crazy.
Fuck me, dude. Oh my God!
He makes it by a million miles. Wow.
But he's thinking if I come up short, I'm not making it. Period. I'll take the wheelchair on the other side of that canyon. Is what he's got to be thinking, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You look at that, and I watched Free Solo. My cousin produced that and won an Academy Award for Free Solo, Evan Hayes, and I watched it, and man, when you watch Free Solo and then you watch the Knievels, you realize how little we do.
Yes. Hey, Marty, David, John, before you go.
John, before you go, can a car skip water like a stone? Mythbusters tried it. It got weird fast. They tried the movie ramp at 50 miles per hour. The car didn't skip. It tried to become a helicopter. So they ditched the ramp and went shallow. They tweaked the nose so it wouldn't dive, and it skimmed. Turns out faster is better, like 70 to 100 mile per hour vibes. At 60, you're basically making expensive soup. John, what's your plan? Ramp or no ramp? And be honest, would you send it?
So we saw Ronnie.
We're talking about a hydroplane here is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you
so
go fast enough.
There you go. Can it work? Look at that. So skipping a stone does that. Look at the car. So the car will the car. So David, Marty.
So
John,
if you were driving a car at 50 miles an hour, it would hit the water nose first, making it sink. But if you doubled the speed and added a special fuel tank to increase the engine power, the car could actually skim over the water, bouncing a few times before landing perfectly on the other side.
there you go. So there we go. We can. So Marty, if we see something on X today with Johnny in his backyard out by the lake, there trying to get his
Fast and Furious.
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. David, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Okay, David.
Gentlemen,
thank you for the time, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, David.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I wish everybody the best. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy
David.
New Year too,
David Frangioni is leaving us this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Johnny's walking out, and Marty's taking off here in a second. To guys, that was epic, man. That was pretty cool, dude. That was pretty fucking cool. Not often you meet guys with stories like that, right? And you just kind of want to lean. You want to learn it. You want to lean into and listen to them, don't you?
It's fun. A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
A lot of good nuggets too.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of good nuggets. Johnny, what do you got going on today, man? You had the Sphere yesterday. What do you got going on today?
I've got actually remember it's a great fucking weekend. I mean, I get my family times keeps going. I got the grand boy coming today.
Nice.
So yeah, so I've got he's here till Monday or Tuesday. So my daughter will be here for a chunk of it too. They're gonna go to Vegas to see a show. So
Beautiful.
fucking A.
Grandpa John getting after, man. That's awesome. Tomorrow, another big show. We have tomorrow, guys. We have we have a naked and afraid. We have some naked and afraid, some reality person on the show tomorrow. Probably going to be a big crazy one because the guy's done some crazy shit. So
I like it.
Yeah, me too. 100%. And the Petro's here tomorrow too. So it'll be good.
Oh, it's right. That'll be a fun one. Perfect. I got to jump actually.
Okay, Johnny, get out of here. Have a good one, pal.
Have a good loop, my brothers.
All right, buddy. Take care, pal. All right. Marty, what do you got going on today, brother?
Man, we're gonna hit shoulders and some arms and kick some ass the rest of the day, man.
Yes.
And side note, David sounds look up John Calipari. He's a head coach for Arkansas basketball. He sounds just like him.
Who?
David.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They sound just alike. It was crazy. Yeah. But it's kind of weird. But that
awesome.
was a great show, man. That was a great show.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Speaking of great, I've been seeing some content with you and your mom out there in the gym, man. Your mom is still. I'm seeing your mom's like super beast mode as she goes into 2026.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're even gonna get her better because she's turning 60 this year. So
that's right. So it's actually looking
big 60. Yeah, man. So we going crazy for 60.
It's funny because Lauren was locked. She's like, check out Marty's mom. She's 60. I go, no, she's still 59. She's not 60 just yet. So that's awesome.
She'll be 60 in September.
That's funny. Hey, Jericho, do you guys have 15 ready there? If you got 15, let's play this one with Richard Browning. Check this one out. If you guys got it ready there, guys, if you can quickly run this one with myself and Marty. This guy built a fully functional Iron Man suit in his backyard. Oh,
man.
Yeah, right? So check this out. The guy, he originally named Davis Flight Back. Look at this guy. He actually flies around, Marty. Watch. He does eventually. Just like fucking Iron Man. And then it goes. Remember like when Iron Man is flying around, that's actually fucking Iron Man.
How's he controlling it?
I guess he's got controllers in his hands, so I think what his hands have controllers. So it looks like his hands have controllers, but also like jetpacks on the hands, and then he's got jetpacks from his back there. But look at that, that's freaking cool, dude.
Man, that's pretty cool. Look how many people he has watching.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey, before we go,
man,
I think we might have a segment, Views from the World with Keith and Marty.
Let's do it.
Do you care to offer any opinions on what's happening out across the ocean? Are you guys going to grow your country by a big landmass called Greenland?
At this point, at this rate, we're going. I think, we might take over somebody else.
Yeah,
we might take over Colombia too. Apparently.
I think Colombia, Cuba, Greenland, and Canada. I think that there's a few pieces being moved on the chart right now, Marty.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Then. Did you hear that the troops that went down to Venezuela were bumping gangster rap?
No, really? Yeah.
They were bumping Chief Keef. Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, that was a savage move, man. That was savage move in Venezuela.
I've never seen anything like that in my life or heard anything.
Savage,
like that.
Man. That's pretty, good times, right? And Mexico too. Yeah, they're gonna take over Mexico too. It's that was a real savage move. Oh, we missed you at the beginning of the conversation here today. Finally, in the no shit Sherlock department, they decided to flip the food pyramid over and tell us to eat real food instead of shitty food, Marty. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, I mean, we've been talking so bad about the food pyramid. I'm surprised they did it. I thought they were going to keep trying to trick the idiots.
So now, but the funny thing is, now we're all skeptical, going, why are they telling us to do this? Like, what's the motive behind telling us to eat more meat instead of? I'm having some humor thing, but
lab grown meat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, so speaking of the Venezuela thing, this is fascinating. So I found a post on, a post on LinkedIn showed up yesterday from a fellow who identifies as a Venezuelan Jew. And he's talking about the perspective. He's happy what's happening because, I don't know if you know, but years ago when the Chavez regime was running Venezuela, they basically kicked out all the Jewish population does no longer exist out there. So as a Venezuelan Jew, he's like, finally, we may have a place to go back and have a home and rebuild a livelihood and rebuild a life in Venezuela with a welcome back the Jewish population. So I've actually invited the guy on the show to have a conversation because I want to learn about that. I'm fascinated by it. I want to learn about it. There's history happening there. There's discussion about opening a Jewish consulate in Venezuela. So again, just the world continues to shift. And as a curious human, I like to learn and have conversations.
I'll say this, man, regardless of what you think about the current administration in America, the Venezuelans are happy, man.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, they're celebrating. So you can only be happy for them. That's how I look at it. Regardless of what you think, you gotta. That's a positive for Venezuela.
Yes.
So
yes, yep. I listen. I like the fact that things are happening.
Yeah.
Regardless of they're good. Go ahead.
And when he says he's going to do something, he does it. Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad.
Well, dude, how many times did we laugh in the early days of our show wondering who was running the country?
Yeah.
Like the previous, we didn't know if the person was alive or dead, or if it was a robot, or if it's a
puppet.
Or a puppet. But the fact that actually, and you're right, whether you like or disagree with the decisions, as a leader, I respect a decision. Because that's what, to me, a leader does. You make a decision, whether it's right or wrong, you make it. And you live with the consequences of it. So I I make no secret. I'm not complaining about what's happening. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not complaining. I think
Definitely
that moves.
me neither.
You know, where the world has been stale and stuck for a while. So the fact that we're maybe, you know, moving in a direction where there's some and I know that people don't like about how some things, well, let's just throw this out there too. So I know there was a tragedy in Minnesota yesterday. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm just going to say this. If your vehicle is pointing at somebody, I'm going to shoot you too.
Well, let's not even get to that point. Whether you agree with what the federal agents are doing or not, don't get in their way. You know,
actually, that's probably even the better approach, isn't it? Yeah, like what are you doing?
They might be doing something you disagree with, but let's not get in their way. That's just asking for something to happen.
Yes.
You know, so I feel awful for the family members and for the people in that neighborhood because they had to witness it.
Yes.
But I mean, we got to get to a point where even if we disagree with law enforcement, federal agents, we don't think it's okay to attack them.
Agreed.
Because what country can you do that in? Canada?
Nope.
No, I'm playing. Not even in Canada.
No, but that's just my point. If you're gonna insert yourself into a situation where you don't belong, and then if you're gonna put yourself in a position where you might look like you're threatening somebody's life, then there's going to be a challenge. And I don't disagree with Good Time. He's like, yeah, the media has been pushing for this. Just saying. I agree with I agree with Charlie.
When you call people the NAZI word and you say these hateful things and you push an agenda where it's like there's a war in our country.
Yes.
And there's not. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah. There are some highfalutin humans across North America these days that are talking about perhaps predictable social unrest as we move through 26 and 27. And you know, Marty, it's actually hard. It's easy to see. I hate to say it, but it's easy to see.
Super easy to see.
The economies are you know, the wealthier getting wealthier, the poor are getting poorer. There's nothing in the middle here, and you know, it's and then you got this. And here's what sometimes I think people don't understand with the media, right? They go, what do you mean the media? Well, let's just go back to like this thing. So I own this. I just use a real simple thing. So if I like this or don't like this, I'm going to perpetuate what I do or don't like. And that's what people forget about with the media, right? Which is somebody along the way owns it. And there's a point of view with that. And that point of view has a purpose behind it.
Absolutely.
So it's not wrong.
You got to watch different things, man.
You do. You
can't just watch one channel nowadays.
Yeah. Well, and again, Charlie's right. Midterms are coming. They need us divided. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct, because the more divided you are, the more chaos, the easier it is to control. Right. So it just becomes up. Yeah. So here's what's fascinating, brother, too. And I got to be honest with you, I feel like it's a certain sense of responsibility even with this show, because we do this 2-hour show daily, a live platform. The world is evolving right now, and I feel like we have a special place in it because we do have this live show, and I feel a sense of responsibility to that. Truth, trust, giving a place for people to come and talk about what's happening in the world. So, yeah,
we're becoming an authority. So
something like that.
They're gonna when things happen, they're gonna come here to get our opinion, and they'll respect it. You know,
exactly. I'll tell you what, I just got some shitty news here this morning. I have my brother's mother-in-law has got some terminal news that is not.
Oh man, we don't like to hear that.
No. I knew kind of it, but I wasn't expecting that on the show here. So I kind of got a little bit of a warm heart in my skin right now. Shitty. Yeah.
Well, prayers up for the family for sure.
Yeah, you and me both. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
All right, pal. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go, get you out of here. You hanging with us tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet. I don't want to make any promises, but
awesome. Well, you know how it works. You know how you always got a seat here, brother. So you let me know when you can. Because hey, we got your Lambo waiting for you. Clearly, there's a Lamborghini.
I love that. I love that. Is that the first one? Did I just happen to be here today when y'all played the first one of me?
I never saw it before, so that was my first. Okay, that was my first time too. I've been encouraging the team just to get after it, and and
Appreciate it, man.
do crazy stuff. So that's awesome, man. Yeah. So
All right, man. Yep.
all right, brother. Have a good one. Lots of love from me to you. Say hi to mom for me, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, pal?
Will do. Sounds good. All right.
All right, brother. Cheers. All right, Marty's out of here. All right. Oh, I didn't know if there was going to be the Lambo of Marty driving out of the studio there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We have had a fantastic show here today. Holy smokes. We just spent an hour with David Frangioni. Marty was here for the whole show. Johnny brought some energy from Vegas, from his experience at the Sphere yesterday. Good time. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate those comments. And a good time broke the news to me yesterday that the food pyramid was changing. Him and I had a few little laughs under the table about that. I was like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Finally made some changes to encourage us all to eat a little differently. Okay, so listen, we're coming up here on the back end here. I got a morning focus segment around comparison. We're going to have a morning focus segment on comparison, and then we're going to get to the community corner and wrap it up this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, live 8 o'clock Eastern time. Jericho, let's keep it going, brother.
My phone wakes up before I do. It shows someone's abs and my confidence files for bankruptcy.
Comparison isn't motivation, it's addiction. You stop building and start reacting to somebody else's highlight reel.
I copy their plan, then ditch it in 3 days. I'm not behind, I'm just unaligned.
It fractures you in half. One half says be grateful, the other half panics you're not enough.
So I ask better questions. Am I doing what I said I'd do, or what performs online?
Do 1 rep today, even if it's small. The fastest way to stop comparing is to start living again.
All right. This monologue came to me yesterday as I was preparing for the show. And it struck me because it was happening to me. So I was like, oh, this is tomorrow's monologue. Because I found myself in the middle of this. What is this? Comparison. Yeah, comparison. You know, when we compare ourselves to everybody, we compare ourselves to our own mirror, we compare ourselves to what's going on, and then we fucking beat ourselves up. But guys, you want to know what's wrecking more men than alcohol, sugar, and scrolling combined? It's that word. It's comparison. True story. Not the innocent kind either. Not the, oh, wow, good for them kind. No. I'm talking about the kind that hits you in the chest at 6:12 a.m. when you open your phone and someone else's life looks clearer than yours. You're like, oh, fuck, man. They did that. What? They did that? They've been accomplishing that? What? They did that too? Oh, man. Their business is bigger than mine. I got to fucking go, man. Oh, my. Their body looks much leaner than mine. Oh, their marriage seems happier than mine. Their bank account must have more money in it. And that highlight reel I see, it just seems louder. And then suddenly you look around and your own life kind of sucks. You feel like you're in court and the judge seems to be Instagram or LinkedIn or X or a social platform with people you don't even know. And the sentence in your head is, well, you're behind. You snoozed. You should be doing this right now. What are you doing sitting here right now? Get up, get after it. But here's the part that nobody wants to admit. Comparison isn't just discouraging. Fuck no. It's identity theft. Think about that. Or perhaps I should say it again. Comparison isn't just discouraging, it's identity theft, because the minute you compare behind the scenes of your life to someone else's edited trailer in front of your life, you stop building your life and you start reacting to their life. Think about that. Yeah, sounds kind of complicated, but let's just say it again. The minute you compare your behind the scenes, everything you do behind the scenes, to someone else's edited front of the scenes trailer, well, guess what happens? Your brain says, stop building your life. You better start comparing yourself to that person over there. And that reaction that you have, it becomes very expensive. Because comparison makes you speed up. It makes you rush. It makes you chase the wrong goals, probably for the wrong reasons. Because You don't even want the thing you're chasing. You've just been told to chase because the social feeds are saying, oh, you're losing. And that is the poison, because the real damage isn't envy. The real damage is when you start abandoning the path that was actually meant for you, your own path. Remember David Frangioni? 12 years old. What was his path? He had a certain path, but he found his own path. He could have been caught up with the damage of envy, but the real damage is when you start abandoning the path that was actually meant for you. Maybe you quit too early. Maybe you switch strategies too fast. Maybe you start doubting what you know. Maybe you start discounting your own momentum because it doesn't look like theirs. You're like, well, it doesn't look nothing like theirs, so I must not be doing it right. Well, I got an invitation for you. So let me say this very, very clear. Comparison. It doesn't motivate you. It actually fractures you. It splits you in half. Half of you is trying to stay grateful. The other half is panicking that you're not enough. In that panic, that is the killer. How do I know? Because I've been part of that half. I found myself going down my path yesterday. Because when you are in comparison mode, you stop doing the only thing that actually works. Daily reps. You stop showing up. You stop stacking wins. You stop looking at your own progress like it matters. And what you do is you start living and comparing yourself in a world where nothing counts unless it's bigger than somebody else's. Guys, that's not ambition. No, that's addiction. So what do you do instead? You replace comparison with alignment. What happens is you ask better questions. Am I better than I was 90 days ago? Am I doing the work I said I'd do? Remember yesterday's monologue? Get that mirror. Put that mirror in front of you and ask yourself this. Am I better than I was 90 days ago? Replace the comparison on the phone from somebody else with your own mirror. Am I building the life that I actually want right now, or the life that performs well online, or the life that performs well because that's what the world wants to see? Because here's the truth that nobody can escape. Somebody will always be ahead of you in one category. Oh, do you want to live a life of keeping up with the Jones? But here's the trick, you guys. Nobody can beat you at you being you, your own mirror. If you stop quitting on yourself every time someone else posts, comparison, that is a poison. But it's also a signal. It's a signal that your nervous system is telling you something. It's telling you that you're watching too much and you're building too little. So today, just today, close the tabs. Get back in the lab, do one rep, one action, one honest step forward. Because the fastest way to stop comparing your life, the fastest way, nation, is to start living again.
My feed's screaming, new year, new you. My body's whispering, chill, or you'll sabotage this by lunch. If you build from stress, you'll chase relief, not reps. Calm first, then act like the disciplined version of you. Pick 2 non-negotiables, not a life makeover. Lift 3 times, walk daily, eat protein, and stop auditioning for January. After your meeting, send the 5-minute email. 3 takeaways, 2 actions, 1 risk, and suddenly you're the adult. When someone throws shade, don't take it personally. Take note, take care of it, and keep your pulse low. Nation, are you building from hype or alignment today? Back to you, handsome chief.
That monologue came from truth, man. I was going through my day yesterday, caught up reading some content, preparing for the show, and I found my brain, true story, going down the path of comparison. I caught myself. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing? Stop being an idiot. Put that fucking comparison down back in the envelope and get back to work. Get back to focusing on what we're building. What we are building, not what somebody else is building, not what somebody else is doing, what we are building here in the lab. We know what we're doing. We know the vision. Not what anybody else is doing, what we are doing. And I'm suspecting there's somebody out there right now tuning into this that might be going through that same thing. Put the fucking comparison out the window, man. Realign yourself with your own mirror and watch the magic happen. Charlie, you're right. The way things are going, we won't need that passport when you get the plane. Can I tell you something, Charlie? That's part of my motivation on a daily basis, man, because I'm getting that fucking plane. And I'm going to get on that plane with my dogs, and I'm coming to pick you up. Sorry, Nation, I'm coming to pick up Charlie first. Because he's on the plane track with me. He picked up on that when I first started this thing. He's like, this guy, I know his motivation. He wants to get a fucking plane. And he's right. It's entirely my motive because a plane gives me time back in my life. So, Charlie, I'm coming to get you, man, in Connecticut when we get that fucking airplane. Yeah. And our digital passports on our iPhones. All right, YouTube, why your nervous system is sabotaging your resolutions. Kenobody. What? Kenobody? Kenobody? I love this. Kenobody says most New Year's resolutions fail because people try to force change from a stressed, overhyped state. Yeah, creating excess importance and self-sabotage instead of consistency. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes, a lot of people, it's just, I'm so important now because I'm taking care of myself and I'm training. I'm going to do all this and then self-sabotage, making bad decisions instead of worrying about going for a walk every single day. Drop the new year, new me pressure. Treat January just as a continuation, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop. Not just a magical reset. No, you got to see changes, small upgrades, not total reinvention. Focus on identity over outcomes and ask yourself this: what does a calm, disciplined man do today? Not how do I lose 30 pounds? Love that. Love that, Kenobody, dropping some discipline and some good nuggets over on the YouTube channel. Guys, over on Substack, the 5-minute email can change how leaders see you. The Effective Project Manager dropping some good content on Substack says 5 minutes, personal key takeaways, commitments, potential risks, not formal minutes. Yes, using AI to analyze notes or transcripts, 3 insights, 2 concrete actions, 1 to 2 risk signals, deep listening and critical thinking. And over the 6 months, he became the person who really got it. Trusted for bigger conversations, people wanting to feel heard, reflecting ideas. So, hey, here's the question for you. After your next meeting, could you send a 5-minute email with what resonated and what you'll do and what risks you see? Or just have your AI do it? I got to be honest. I think that the Effective Project Manager, yeah, I think it's actually kind of goofy, Neiman. Sorry. I think AI can do all that today. Why is there a human wasting their time doing all this? I don't know. Just wondering out loud here. Anyways, hey, Pharrell says, oh, Cole Schaefer. Cole Schaefer shows Pharrell Williams' advice. Don't take it personally. Take note and take care of it. Love that. Treat slights and setbacks as data, not drama. Oh, I like that. Take slights and setbacks as data, not drama. Reserve emotion for true life and death moments, birth, death. But most businesses and interpersonal issues, they're not worth it. So, aim to respond, not react. Oh, you hear us all the time. Respond, not react. Reactions come from emotion. Responses come from clarity. So Maya, here's my question for you. When something goes wrong today, are you going to take it personally? Are you going to take note of it? Or are you going to take care of it?
Before you scroll, exhale. Your nervous system isn't a hype machine. It's a steering wheel. Pick 1 reps you can repeat. If it's a meeting day, send the 5-minute recap email. When life throws shade, treat it like data. Take note, take care of it, then get back to work. Nation, keep it simple this week. Calm first, 1 rep, then repeat. We'll keep you accountable. Follow us on LinkedIn, Substack, and X.
Hey guys, wrapping it up. Today's conversations weren't about doing more. No, they weren't about doing more. They weren't about fixing everything, or they weren't about getting hyped up to become a different person by tomorrow morning. It was about noticing how fast one missed day turns into self-criticism, how comparison quietly creeps in, and how pressure convinces you that consistency, it means perfection. Man, we had a fun conversation today with David Frangioni. Yes, that was fucking awesome, man. If you guys don't know this, David comes from a world of music, comes from a world of hardship. He's worked with some of rock and roll and music's greatest artists. I would invite you to go back and listen to that take. We slowed things down, we zoomed out, and hopefully we gave you something you can actually carry into tomorrow morning instead of just noodling along. But listen, guys, tomorrow we got another big show live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Joining us, EJ Skull Crusher Snyder. A lot of people want to joke, speculate, or talk about headlines. We want to talk about the men behind the legend, the mindset, the scars, the discipline, and what it actually takes to carry that identity without letting you own you. EJ comes from the world of, I think what we could have done here a little better on this teaser, guys, is I don't know anything about EJ except which his. So what we want to do here on our upcoming statements here, guys, is I want to know who EJ is. So if I'm the listener, I want to know who EJ is. So I don't have any context to our guests for tomorrow's show. So hit like, hit subscribe, and tell a friend who needs better mornings about us so you can come hang out with us live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here in less than 22 hours, called Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We'll see you guys tomorrow.